Well, is everybody all just satiated with all you can eat? I hope you had a lovely, happy Thanksgiving to all of you and a great weekend. And, you know, the way things have worked out often with scheduling over the many years is I've actually been, remember, we're a 24/7 network. Which, remember, anything you see in these shows, you can order in the middle of the night. Just have the item number. We are fully staffed in the sales department to take your order 24/7. So there has been Thanksgivings, with my son being posted out of the country. He can't always make it back. And then I've actually been alone, waiting for, maybe leftovers from someone else, or, because often with the schedule, Raven works shows here as she's scheduled New Year's Eve to work a show. So it's okay to be able to deal with that. I deal with it by actually losing myself with my mineral specimens. There are so many questions I have and so many specimens that you have not gotten to see or opportunity to buy because there's one mineral left for me to identify. Because remember, a lot of these I've gotten in estates over the years, not so much information always with them, sometimes all the information with them. And I try not to, let's say, there's a primary mineral, like the sweet home rhodochrosites are one of them. You can have, sweet home rhodochrosite, you often see that advertised, a specimen on the internet, those sites. And that's all it will say. But along with that specimen, there can be amazing quartz needles, pyrite, tetrahedrite, sphalerite, galena, and the list goes on. I like to try to identify as many of them as possible. When I get to those copper minerals, it gets really, really, really tricky sometimes. But that's the fun of rock hunting, hounding, prospecting, and analysis of the piece. I'm curious. I just sent a message to my my refiner of what he's using, and I think he's using an XRD machine, an X-ray. It used X-ray analysis and X-ray diffraction, and so I'm just curious. I would love to be able to find a mineral and determine its entire components inside it. Some you have to crush up and destroy. Others, much more expensive, not that way. But, my curiosity is such that I want to know. I already saw. If anyone wants to finance an XRD machine, we can have a lot of money-making fun. You can do any kind of analysis, also a gas mass spectrometer, but it's a little bit different. So for about 30 grand, an XRD machine. So you can see I've been doing my homework. That's the kind of thing, but that's part of the hobby is, because it frustrated me. There's this one specimen I have. I cannot figure out this one mineral. It is something different. It could be something really exotic. I don't know. So I haven't inventoried it in yet. I actually have quite a few that I haven't figured everything else out. So all of a sudden the time passes, there's no sense of loneliness because if I had a love that was a non-physical love, it is absolutely rocks and minerals. Call me a geek, call me weird, whatever. I've been called that all my life, starting on walking on the school bus. So I'm used to that. Later, it became a status symbol. I made it on the Travel Channel. Cutting amethyst. It has taken me. I made it an Inside Edition, Dateline. You can look up the reasons why if you want to explore. The front cover of the National Enquirer for good reasons. I was a good guy. People magazine, 4-page article. So, the hobby can morph into more than that. And so I could go fasten a stone. I can go create a ring or work on a ring. Today is my jade day, the one that was my dad's that he and I got together when we were in Hokitika, New Zealand, after my mom passed away, and I got it because it's a symbol of being a provider. The Maori tribe, the indigenous tribe, their big source of food is fishing. So a symbol of a fish hook showed that you were a provider for your family. So of course my dad provided for 6 of us children, so it was perfect for him. And after he passed away, since I was with him, I got that back. And then I have the black jade ring that one of really the closest friend I have in so many different ways, and I have cried to him, and he has so helped me. Is awesome. And this black jade ring, and this is the cool thing. The black jade, of course, is mined in Australia, and that is a great place. I've been there, and it's a place I'd like to live. I didn't live here, that or New Zealand. But the opals that are in it are also representative of, it's my mom's birthstone and my son's birthstone. So, if one is to say that they aren't, attached to the metaphysical side of the gems and minerals, which is fine, but on the other side, if I want to feel close to a person, I have it in this one ring. Probably one of the, I've worked with hospice close to every day. We shot all 30 of those videos in the office I have here with him, 4 feet away, and it took several hours. It was just one-on-one, our time. And over the, 17 years I've been here, a lot of time we've spent together, and it's a very meaningful time. And so it's significant for that. So if I'm believing that in a sense of bonding by wearing those stones, is that not giving those stones an attribute of a metaphysical sense of empowerment? Think of it that way. So I'm open-minded to all of that, and I certainly know that there is something to quartz, and I've told that story. I'll tell it again another time, but it is. Well, I'll tell it real quick, because I hate people that debate that, things like that, and they don't say it. A gentleman walked in the store. I wasn't in the store at the time, but I had 4 different female employees working there at the time. When I had one of my very successful jewelry stores in an estate district. He walked in the store, and part of my decoration was crystals on the walls and shelves. And then, of course, the showcases for jewelry, and had crystal specimens in the showcases as well. So he goes to, and the quartz crystals I had up on, and he goes and picks up every quartz crystal, turns it upside down, opens his palm like this, and he was tracing the quartz crystal over the top of the palm. He'd put it down, try another one, try another one. Finally, he stopped on one, and he said, walked over to the counter with it, and said to one of the girls, "Put out your hand and close your eyes and tell me what I am writing with your palm." Holding the quartz point above the palm, they had to be, of course, simple, a O, a T, an S. Every one of those, and then he went from girl to girl, and every one of them got it right. The different letters. There was that much supposed energy between the end of the crystal point that you could feel the tracer pressure. They couldn't wait until I got back. They had hoped that he was still there when I got back. He wasn't there, but they still had the crystal, and they did the same thing to me. So, because you could, as part of an analysis of it, was it the person holding the crystal generating the electricity, which I've already told you that our bodies are made of hydroxyapatite, and apatite is one of the piezoelectric minerals like quartz is. In other words, with pressure, it generates electricity. So, it was he generating electricity through the quartz. So he did it to me, and I felt it. So it had nothing to do with him. It was the quartz crystal itself. It actually worked. And so with that one moment of physicality, it washed away a lot of my doubts, if I had any. Of course, with a quartz crystal, you can scientifically attach properties to it that could be a potential. Remember, It is what made radios possible, and that's where Silicon Valley, quartz is made of silicon dioxide. The whole beginning of radio, computers, all surrounded around quartz. So it is a special mineral. Silicon, two elements, silicon and two atoms of oxygen. Amazing stuff. So keep your mind open.
Where's the reason your signal is able to get to people?
Exactly. Also just said quartz is the reason that we're able to reach the people. We're able to sit here and communicate. It's the lenses of some of the finest observation telescopes. Now these are man-made, but it's still just silicon dioxide, ground quartz. For its optical properties, it is not the most common element on Earth, though. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. I think I've asked you before, so I'll tell you again so you can remember. Feldspar is. Georgia. Georgia red clay is mostly all feldspar with iron impurities creating the red. So we have a lot to do today. You're going to love it. Not many of you commented. If it only gets down to where 2 winners, I don't assess a winner. But we had 3 winners, so we did assess a winner. Let's see who that was. So starting off with the questions, what is the reason why blue and purple is the rarer color in ammonite? That was question 1. What is the mineral name given to desert glass or impact glass? Answer being... well, let's see who tells me what the answer is. Number 3 is, name 2 of the 3 minerals that create the yellow and orange in bumblebee jasper. Okay, so let's get to the answers. Now, I apologize to Miss Penny for last week because we recorded the show due to the holiday schedule a day earlier. And for those of you that tried to answer the trivia question later on Wednesday, or early Thursday morning, it wouldn't have been included in last week. But I'm going to read Penny's answer because Penny has always worthwhile comments, as all of you do. So from Miss Penny from last week, and because we shot a day early, remember that was the what is it trivia that she always participates in, and I really like that. Thank you for another great show and informative show. Trivia. And I can remember all 6 of those in a row if any of you can as well. So she answered apatite and moonstone for the first 2. Those were the dyed quartz and the diamond crystal. The other 4, she nails. Tanzanite, shoral tourmaline. I gave her on number 5, asbestos, which was a crystal house serpentine, the correct answer for that, as I would of anyone else, because it is closely related to asbestos and in that family. And the last unikite, got that right on. So 4 out of 6, that was doing really well. Fave of the week, the ammonite specimen and the amethyst quartz specimen. I did love the labradorite, sugilite, and quartz and emerald carvings. The stones are beautiful, and the carvings, as I flip the page, show incredible craftsmanship. Even though I don't like owls, I like it, which is my totem animal. I can tell you amazing stories I've had with owls. So very meaningful. So here's why. Of course, remember, Miss Penny is of Greek or ethnicity, and is Greek, but she lives in Quebec. So she says the Greeks believe that when you hear an owl, it is bad news or bad luck. How true that is, I don't know. I guess it goes along with the other superstitions. It does. Because if that was true, I back up to 25,000 acres, the Dawson Wildlife Management Area. And that's why we have so many wildlife in our backyard. Owls every night. So I'd be done for. We hear them every night. And it's often I can make a closest thing to a hootie owl call I can do, and get them to respond back. And due to the way where I live, kind of the top of a hollow on the ridge, it echoes, and especially at night when it's quiet. So it really carries. Miss Arlene in Arkansas. Hey, Shawn, sorry for not getting this in mail sooner. I've been a little busy with all the holiday stuff lately. Oh, yeah, sorry about the black background. Not sure what I did to cause it, but I'm mindful of it now. Yes, and you didn't send it with the black background, which, you know, I'm 60, soon to be 64. That kind of stuff, trying to make that and flip it around the other way was beyond my abilities. I tried. Couldn't do it. And then it used up ink. So anyway, thank you for fixing that. I would like to thank you again for the Moonstone from Trivia Contest. They are just so amazing, and the variety and colors are stunning, of course, making it hard to pick just one as a favorite. And keep listening to the show, and you'll hear how I and where I obtained the Moonstone from, because I mined it myself. I also tumbled it myself, and you were the trivia winner. Now, remember, Miss Arlene is new to us because she participated in my giveaway that week. Whoever left a comment, a new person leaving a comment would get a free kyanite necklace. And so I realized that 4 people had, but they left it on the YouTube channel site. But I still counted that. So I'm trying to get to find those, and so I can give them their necklace. Now, we found 2. I think Karen and Arlene. Now, Teresa, I just have here, Teresa, and I won't say your last name, but some of Teresa's information, but no other comment. So I'm not sure if Miss Teresa, that is from one of the 4 other people, and maybe you used a different nickname on the YouTube site. So I'll check and see if I can tell. But if not, let me know if you were one of the 4 people that I reached out to. And the giveaway was just for that week. So I do encourage everyone to leave a comment or participate in the trivia. I mean, if we got to so many, then it'd be different. But with the limited number of pounds, you know, I kind of keep track. And there is some people that are going to win 3 times in a month because so few of them, and good stuff. They're getting free inventory. It's okay with me because I know a lot of you are closet participators. You like listening to everybody else's comments and hearing the trivia and learning from that. But, you know, give it a try. You know, Miss Arlene on the What Is It learned so much from it, and she didn't get a single one right, but she turns right around and participates in the next one. And that's and she commented about how much she learns. So let's listen to her comment in just a moment after we finish with Miss Pennies. And as a matter of fact, the next line starts off with Miss Arlene. It says, Miss Arlene, welcome to the Rockhound family and congratulations on your win. A little trivia envy there. Wonderful parcel of Moonstone. Especially remember since Shawn mined it and Shawn tumbled it. Special mojo on that, you know. By the way, for what it's worth, for Hessenite, if you pronounce Essen with a long E in modern Greek, it means equal. So that would be Essen or Hessenite, which, remember, that's kind of equal because I believe Hessen was given that name because it was inferior. Lower refractive index, lower, you know, to other garnet specific gravity, and wasn't as durable. So that's interesting. And, you know, Miss Penny, I was reading about a lot of other different minerals, and you must be able to read a mineral and understand it right from the name of it so much better than so many of us, because so many of it, the root is based in Greek, the Greek language. And if I knew that, it would give me information from the name instead of, you know, having it to be basically translated. And some of the names of the minerals are just exact spelling of the Greek words and add an "ite" to the end. So when you go through a list of minerals, you're getting a lot more information just from the names. And I think that's pretty cool. So here is, so Miss Teresa, she provided her some information there, but Miss Teresa, let me know or comment or say what that is in reference to. And if it's you're one of the 4, I want to make sure that you get your kyanite. So just let me know that, because it doesn't seem to match the information from the other side. Miss Arlene in Arkansas says, "Hey Shawn, sorry for not getting this." Okay, so there we go. For sooner, I've been a little busy with all the holiday stuff. Oh yeah, about the black background. And they, regarding the moonstone, thank you again. They're just so amazing, and the variety of colors are stunning. Of course, making it hard to pick just one as a favorite. Do you know that diamond and tourmaline were both my very first thoughts from last week's What Am I? So that was the ones that, for some reason, I seem to always second guess myself, overthink and overcomplicate things. Don't a lot of us? I like the fact that I got them wrong. Wow. Wow. See, that is exactly in reference to what I was just saying about Miss Arlene. She got it wrong. She jumped right back in, and we'll read her answer. We'll see how she did this time around. And so she likes the fact that she got them wrong. Why? Only reiterates the fact to trust my gut. Remember the story about the Galena geodes that I told everyone? And I tell it regularly. I'll get the geodes again, because the story will mean so much more when you actually see the geodes. My gut was telling me, and I was looking for every reason for them to be counterfeits. I'll bring them in and I'll show you, and then I'll continue with the rest of the story. Sorry, I can't finish it now. You have to have the specimen, and yeah. So, trusting your gut, because my guts, I didn't listen to it. And it was exactly that. Exactly that, Miss Arlene. And here I am with all the experience in the world that I had. And I was in Morocco, in Chef Shawn, high up in the Reef Mountains. And I didn't follow my gut. I think I would have bought them anyway, just for the novelty of it. I'll show you all, Nick. I'll get them together. So for some reason, I seem to second guess myself, overthink, and overcomplicate things. I like the fact that I got them wrong. Why? Only reiterates the fact to trust my gut that you so often talk about when buying from other vendors and such. The dyed quartz sticks out like a sore thumb now. It does once you know what it is. You know, I did notice the darker line at the bottom and thought, I know for next time. And remember, I will slide things in there. One time, remember, I slid a piece of concrete. It looked like a brecciated piece with, which is such very, very real-like. And I was very impressed with the number of you that actually said it looked funky. And so your gut was telling you there was something wrong with it. It didn't know exactly what it was, but that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all that really matters, is that you suspect it not to be something special. You did well. That is about it, and just love it. Learning from your mistakes. Wow. Very, very great philosophy. Absolutely. Everything in this week's show was amazing, as always, so I just can't get enough. I learned some about the ammonites/meteorites, which, by the way, ammonites/nautilus are one of my favorites. Talk about trivia envy. Did they want to trade for the moonstones? Just kidding. Opalized belemnites. Great. Thanks, Shawn. Another one to now add to the wish list. They were by far one of the coolest fossils I have seen. Like, super cool. They really are. They really are. And I wanted to have a slice diagram and show you what they actually look like, and how their body is, and what that little triangular part cone is inside them. And it's really neat to see that they were a living, existing little animal, very kind of similar to a squid, a cephalopod, and then now they're opalized with precious opal. I've not had the opportunity to go to any of the mines here in Arkansas just yet, but would love to go to the diamond mines. It is definitely in the works. I have found one that I believe is a doubly terminated, perfectly shaped Herkimer diamond while hunting here on the creek, along with a handful of skeletal quartz. Learning online about how they are formed was really cool. Yeah, we've had some here before. Great job. And go back to that creek. If there's one, there could be others. Get you I have every different size sifting sluice, so I can sift out, all the small stuff and target the size I'm looking for as far as if I'm going for that. So all of the material kind of washes out in the way in the creek, and you can move a lot more material. Of course, I have three, and including a portable electric operated dredge that moves like 1,800 gallons an hour. So, and the batteries for it. So, and it's not heavy. You can pack it in. I just need to find a place worthwhile enough to run it. I also have the big, 20-foot long sluices that will drive 3 underwater divers. It's not the full mask and the scuba type. It's just oxygen in a simple form. Have all the wetsuits. I mean, I have a mercury retort, so I'm set up. I just need to find that gold vein. Let's see. Wishing you safe and happy Thanksgiving as well. Thank you, Miss Arlene. Miss Arlene on now. She answers in a second one on the trivia. Hi, Shawn. Thanks for making last week's trivia such a learning experience for me. I enjoyed learning all I can in the world of rocks and minerals. Okay, for this week. See, she jumps right back in. I think the name of the mineral is aragonite. The reason the blues and purples are so rare is they are very thin and not as durable. That is absolutely correct, because the diffraction of light through the aragonite. Now remember, the actual shell of the ammonite converts over with pressure and time to aragonite, and as it does, aragonite forms in layers, and as the light passes through those layers, it diffracts it, producing the different colors. The thicker and deeper those layers are will give you your reds and yellows and oranges, which are the more common and less valuable colors in ammonite, the gemstone. Now, isn't that odd? What is common in ammonite is the rare and expensive color in opal, red. Now, the thinner the layers are, brings you the purples and blues, the very sought after colors, but also under that weight and pressure, because they are so thin, they're the ones that get crushed and into what looks like, well, then it can become valuable if it all is, a lizard skin or a type of pattern where it's just like crackled, or it's just destroyed. And so that's why those thin layers don't make it and last over all that period of time as much as the thicker layers do. And so that is a correct answer. Number 3, the impact glass. I literally was just in a group discussion about silicates and morphing on Facebook in a rock group I am a member of. Well, they talked, I listened, since it was way out of my realm. Miss Arlene, I got to hand it to you. You jumping in, joining a Facebook group, you are going to excel in your learning curve here. Okay, Rockhounds, don't let me down. From what I got, here's your number 2 answer. And remember, I said I did not matter for spelling. I can read through the spelling. I'm not going to make fun of what you wrote, because I'm crediting you with a correct answer, because it certainly could be and spelled out in so many ways. The right answer is, and it took me a long time before I could, without looking at it, remember or pronounce it right. Le Chatelier. And then there's a little slight versions of it. And each time I think I say it a little different. But Le Chatelier is the name given to glass that is created from high temperature sources, like a bolt of lightning, like a impact of a meteor in a desert or where the sand is. And as Miss Barbara pointed out in her post coming up, trinitite is another one of the forms of glass recognized as a different type of silicon, and only related to the what is created from an atomic test. And the Trinity test sites out in New Mexico were the first place that they did the tests, and where they first discovered this type of quartz. So Le Chatelier, is also one of those, almost like I could say, organic quartzes created by nature in a outside way instead of the way we normally think of how rocks and minerals are created. So it's only a couple different ways that you can get the type of heat and pressure to convert that sand. And lachetilierite, like in a fulgurite, is only the inside of the fulgurite where it's glassy and shiny looking. That part is a lachetilierite. The rest are sand that stuck to that part when the lightning bolt struck. And if you ever remember someone telling you that a lightning bolt is only as wide as a pencil, you can see that by far the vast majority of fulgurites, and I've had, well, I think I had one time about 50 or 60 of them. Maybe I sold probably 70 or 80 of them total. They're almost every one of them that the width of a pencil. So yet the lightning bolt looks so huge and destructive, and it really is. It produces the kind of heat needed. So she wrote, sorry, licklerite. And that is absolutely acceptable because who's going to say it doesn't sound like lachetilierite? I mean, you know, or what I sounded like saying it. I know that's the wrong spelling inside from when the lightning strikes and makes it shiny. Either that or it was a fulgurite that was struck by lightning, and then that made the lick whatever. I like that. Shiny from morphing, melting. I'm sure I have this all wrong, but oh well, I will learn from it. No, you actually have it all right. That is absolutely correct. LOL, talk about magic of the show. I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. Right on. Number 3, this is just learned today, thanks to you, Shawn. That would be sulfur, orpiment, and real guard, giving the bumblebee jasper its red, orange, and yellow colors. Also learned about pyrite in it, which, by the way, is super cool since pyrite and hematite/magnetite are some of my fave metal ores that I find here while rock hunting. Love this trivia. Miss Arlene. Rock on, Miss Arlene. So getting all 3 answers correct. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello, all. Well, that was fun, especially when you win. No, I really enjoy the What Am I trivia. Thank you. I'm a huge fan of Ammonite. Remember, Anthony won. He got 5 out of 6. That was great. Great show. I wanted everything. I was able to score a few items. The blue-purple Ammonite, the red cat's eye scapolite, one of the opalized belemnites, one of the meteorites. That's all I require. Everyone get as many items as Anthony does each time. They don't have to be expensive. And, you know, the show will keep going on. Thanks for showing the spectrolite. That was a treat. It really was. I had to borrow it from the Raven, but hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eyes down, because that's where they're to be found. I added that part. Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Wow. That was an exceptional show. I love it that it was over 3 hours. I know. I don't know if Asif knows that. He's over there. He wasn't here. It was Latif. And yeah. But we had the goods, right? I loved the hand-knapped knives, the opalized belemnites, and the meteorites. Thank you, Latif and staff, for the extra showtime. I had to pause and rewind to take notes so much I had to break it up into 2 viewing sessions, or I would have been in front of the screen for 6 or 7 hours straight. That's okay. Curiosity has got the best of me. Me too. Let me read this. And maybe Yasif can help. What was the black drape with what looked like red hair behind/beside you on your left? So I know there was no woman on the set. What do you think it was?
It's just the clock right now.
Yeah, but she said there was some red hair draped. Asif would know. It was the way the light was reflecting, and we also have some other lights, like a blue light in the back there that can reflect off things. So either that or we have a ghost. That would be cool. Trivia. The blue, purple, and aragonite that is thinner, therefore, has less chance of surviving the pressure of the earth metals of the earth materials that accumulate around it, making it the rare color. Wow. I couldn't have answered that better. Now make sure, remember, nobody, no AI, no AI. Which I know none of you do. You play straight up by the rules. Maybe the spelling of lachetilierite, because listen to this. So see, number 2, she has lachetilierite, and the spelling's correct. Number 3, real gold, orpiment, and sulfur. Everybody take care. Can't wait till next week. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Here's the thing that I totally agree with. The spell checker on my system is losing its mind with all the middle names I type in. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I have autocomplete or something on my phone I need to remove because one of these days I'm not going to look at what I type and it's going to correct something and put something in there that it thinks I wanted to write. And it's going to be all messed up because you're completely right. So, yeah, you can, I'm sure auto corrects to the right spelling at some point because it is a real word. And I run into the same thing with mineral specimens. It wants to fix every one of them. Miss Karen in Arkansas. Hello, Miss Karen. Another new poster. OMG, I was so excited to receive an... God, everyone has to read this. This is the excitement that I want this show to create. Now, remember, Miss Karen is one other of the new commenters that went through the extra hoop. So remember, everyone, to send your comment, and this is a good time to remind you, because I haven't been good about that, because I just realized how easy it is. Shawn at gems.com. You can't get any easier or shorter, I think, than that. Shawn, maybe if it was Bob, don't confuse it. Shawn at gems.com. That's all you need. And you can leave your comment. Now, if you're new, then we need information and win a prize to be able to send it to you. So that would be expensive. So while I'm saying that, let me say to get to the entire open world of Shawn and everything we have, all the info, go to gemshopping.com. At the very bottom of the page, the little site, that most big websites have. Click on sitemap. Then it opens up to a simple page. There's 2 columns. The right-hand column, scroll way down, keep going till you see Ask Shawn. Click on that, and then boom, it opens you up to the shows, the link to the YouTube shows, also the link to see the 30 different how it's done videos that I think almost should win some type of award in that arena, because I've never seen it laid out by anybody else. We covered everything that you would run into and how it's done correctly if you're working with your hometown goldsmith. It doesn't matter if you want to see and have to have a prong rebuilt. Go to the video, see how it's done so that they do it correctly and they know what they're doing. And it will give you information like, oh, well, shouldn't have the head been changed instead of just fixing the prong? By the time you watch them all, you will have more knowledge than 90% of the clerks, and most of truly the jewelers behind the bench don't have the level of knowledge that we covered. We covered everything from alloying gold to making what would be an FTC regulated by their standards, a handmade piece in rose gold, even with a gem that spins. We did it all. And I am so grateful to Asa for the direction he gave me. He was absolutely a director, and the photographer, of course. I don't know. He just like naturally knew, show the pieces you're going to use first, show the tools you're going to use, get them orders. It was really, really, compared to the first one we did where I just had diarrhea of the mouth and talked too much. His direction made it to where I actually can enjoy watching myself and find it interesting, which I normally don't like to hear or watch myself, but not in those videos. So anyway, treat yourself, and then you can challenge anybody on goldsmithing techniques. You will know why. Platinum is more expensive to have your ring size than gold. I show it all to you and explain it all, including things of how to get your ring off your finger without destroying the ring. Like if you were stung by a bee, or smashed your hand in the car door and your finger's swollen up, you can't get your ring off. You don't want to take it to a hospital or a doctor. They take this little thing, take 2 pliers and just rip open the shank. There's ways to get it off before that, or at least try. Okay. So Miss Cindy getting all her answers correct. Miss Karen, okay, let's see. Okay. I was so excited to receive an unknown package yesterday. I get a text message from my neighbor. We signed for a package for you today. Me? Oh, okay. Thanks. As I headed that way, I was wondering what it is, who sent it, and what's inside, because I didn't recall any last-minute purchases. The package was handed over. I noticed the label, adult signature required. I'm thinking, oh goodness, I bet my neighbors are wondering what the heck is inside that package. I'm thinking maybe someone sent me a gag gift, LOL. Then it hit me. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Maybe, just maybe, it's from Shawn. I looked at the shipping label and bingo, it said GSN. I opened the box like a kid waiting to open Santa's gift. There was a smaller box inside wrapped so beautifully where the gift would reside. I almost ripped it open as well, but something told me to hang on. Enjoy this. Don't rush the thrill. Keep it alive. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. When I'm panning down to a pan of gold and I know that there's some gold in it because I saw a little bit while I was, swooshing it down, meaning there's more. And sometimes I hold off on that final moving the sand off the gold, and you just see the trail of the heavier metal gold at the end. I know that. It's just not often enough. There was a small, okay, I almost ripped it open as well, but something told me to hang on. Enjoy this. Don't rush the thrill. Keep it alive. I closed the package and decided to save the grand opening for my upcoming birthday. That's great. So that's what I'm doing. I will continue my story after the grand opening. I want to hear it word by word. As my mom used to say, and my mom she used to say, I want to hear the story in an I said, you said format. And we always knew what that meant. In other words, exactly like what was said. She was so funny about that. And so we would always say it back to her. And my mom was a drama major. I have a picture of her with Vincent Price. And she graduated from all-girls school in St. Louis and in drama major. And she used her ability that she got out of drama. I saw her after they stopped pumping gas for you, not her. They went on, she was able to get people to go on for a few years afterwards to get them to still pump her gas for her. And out of just absolutely using nothing but kindness. Nothing but kindness. Not in a deceitful, twisted, wicked way. It was amazing as I sat there in the car and watched just the power of words can be used in a great positive way, or it can destroy. Everyone needs to remember that. So that's what I'm doing. I will continue my story after the grand opening. I know what the prize is, but I don't know which one of the 5 I will receive. That's a great way to look at it. You do know what the prize is. Remember, everyone, I was giving away a nice free kyanite necklace that fluoresces red. But there are 5 different styles. And now I told Christy, I like that as Brad calls her. Brad, where you been? I haven't heard from you. The Christy keeper of inventory. So I specifically told her to high grade and give the best of them to any of the commenters. So that would apply to you. So, and Christy knows what I mean by, being able to high grade and pick the best one. So, that is going to be exciting for you. That's all I'm going to say. That's going to be exciting. Because the biggest isn't always the best. But I don't know what actually she chose, so I'm kind of interested in that as well. I want to hear your story. Thank you, Shawn. Love your content. By the way, I make several trips a year to the Arkansas mines. I started my rock journey at Crater of Diamond State Park a few years ago. Washing gravel is hard work. 5-pound buckets filled with dirt gravel and dragging a cart through the fields with the wheels that don't roll. This is great information to know, by the way, because I've been wanting to go. They don't roll because they get full of cake-filled mud. It's a challenge, but it's fun, and there are a lot of die-hard diamond diggers. See, that's the other thing. When I mine, I'm usually used to being alone. A lot of people, that'd be weird. The same trip I went to my first quartz mine, and that's where I found my love. This is also hard work, but more gratifying for myself. It's quicker to find a quartz point than it is to find a diamond. Kindest regards, Miss Karen. Miss Karen, I want to know if you found a diamond. Okay, let us know. if you did find a diamond. Miss Barbara on the road, and just want to drop a quick note to the trivia. Thinner layers of material give blue and purple color ammonite. Le Chatelier is the group name for impact glass, including one we didn't mention, trinitite, which we discussed minutes ago. That's the melted sand from the first atomic bomb blast at Trinity Flats in White Sands, New Mexico. Orpiment, Rilgar, and sulfur give the intense orange color, yellow color to bumblebee jasper. Show was delightfully long and varied, 3.24 hours long, a holiday treat. Thanksgiving was delicious and all more pleasant since I didn't have to cook but was a guest. Hope everyone enjoyed the food and camaraderie of the holiday. For us, it was just very quiet because after working all those days, the Raven was quite tired, and of course we didn't want to cook. Be safe travels all. Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. All right, that brings us down. I think there's only like 3 winners. So when there's multiple winners, we assign a number to each person, and then I just, there's not picking a name out of the hat. I just ask Asa for someone pick a number from 1 to however many people are participating that won and got the answer correct. And there is a certain magic to the show that seems that everything winds up in the place where it should be. I noticed that, oddly enough, you mentioned that I learned some about ammonites and meteorites, which, by the way, ammonites / nautilus are one of my favorites. Talk about trivia envy. Do they want to trade for the moonstones? Just kidding. So, Miss Arlene having a particular love for ammonites and stating it there. And as magic would have it, Miss Arlene, you have won again. Congratulations. Let me show you what makes it really special. Can you believe it? Ammonites, the whole ones though. This is, and there's 2 different varieties. This is called a tractor ammonite because of the design. You see the ridges on that? And this is a whole one that has been cut in half. And this is the outside of it. You would never think what is on the inside. Something so beautiful, and there'll be calcite crystals that didn't grow all the way to fill in there, so that's always really beautiful to look in. The tractor ammonites don't often have the ammonite shiny reflection on the back. It's a different variety, and you can see why. Great name for it. Look at the nice size. Then here is a whole ammonite of the Cleonoceras variety, which is the standard variety we see. This is done where it's been polished down to the septaria, these ridge lines that separate the different areas of the inside of the nautilus. And there's nautilus because they're a member of the nautilus family, cephalopod. And there's what's called a siphuncle that actually goes through all of these, where it can fill itself up with air, or control its bladder, so it can control the level in the ocean that it likes to feed at. Different types like different levels. This one is really cool. It is a small one, and it has still the shell that has been aragonized, so to speak. Look at the beautiful inside, all polished and worked on, and the nice outside. So you get a entire collection of them like that. And it was completely bizarre that you would win those, since especially you said that you like and have a particular affinity for it. That's the magic. And you're almost, if anyone won 3 times in a row, you'd be a record holder. The first time, though, was just by commenting, so I won't count that. But winning 2 times is almost like 3 times in a row. So, but you're on a roll. Didn't win anything the first time. Didn't get any of the 6 ones right. But your spirit jumped right in there and participated again, and you win. And that's what I like to see. Try again. Congratulations. Okay, let me put those up. I have so much to show you. I need to get going on it right away. I'll be right back. All right. When I offer one of these special rarities up, it's exactly that, a special and a rarity. Here is one of my own personal specimens from the rainbow androdites, and you can see it certainly deserves to be looked at double-sided. The reason why this is so special to me, this particular crystal, is because every single face has a different color reflected, and also has no other impurities on it. Like some of the faces will have those little, I think they're calcite or some kind of formation on the surface. Now that can be removed when you see that, but this one naturally had none. Look at these colors. Now look at each face and notice that this is a cluster of crystals. Look at that. Look at the iridescence. Okay, so there's a blue-green on that one. You just saw whatever, that orange-yellow color. There is a blue there. And look at how well formed these, look at that color, crystals are. Now, that is, of course, the backside where it would have been attached to the matrix or a part of a cluster. And so many of them don't make it from that process. Look at the purple. Look at the purple and then the blue at the same time. That's what I'm saying. This one, look at even that. Oh man, I need to get a second pointer here. So look at even that small face right there is an intense color and a clean face as well. Then those strong blues. Look at that, and then a purple one. Every look at that. That is what makes this a world-class specimen, because every single face shows a strong, reflective iridescence and is clean. In other words, I didn't do anything to them. It's like the way it came out of the ground, and that is really spectacular. It is a look at that. Look at that color. Wow, did you see that other one? This is why when you get something like this, you just don't look at it for a moment and put it up. No, you get light and you look at every different little face and you look at how spectacular of a purchase you actually made. And look at this. I have started comparing some of these things on the internet, and I have found that they go for crazy amounts of money. And I'm going to also tell you, I participated in an auction, first time since I've had the podcast on, just to see. So on one of these known auction sites from a well-known, very well-known dealer, look at the colors on this as I'm talking, because that is what makes this particular piece extremely unique and rare. So I bid on about 20 of the pieces, 15 to 20 of them. And then, I would get noticed when I'd be outbid, and I'd rebid, and I participated to the point that I thought that they weren't worth beyond that point. OMG. The prices, and the auction still hasn't closed. It was like 6-day auction. The prices that they ended up, even at this point, were way out of bounds by way of what I termed as value. Now, maybe I'm just thinking of the olden days, but from what I would think I would pay for the specimens, no. They were bid up beyond what I consider. See that little face right down there? That's that bright green? That is just a little extra, look at that, just a little extra growth on that crystal. And has that, look at that, strong of a reflection. That's what I'm saying. This is spectacular. So anyway, these mineral sites, there's so many people, I guess, with money that don't buy for value or don't know, or I don't know what it is. Or some, I think, it's psychological. They just don't want, look at all those colors. They just don't want to be beaten. I don't know. But what they're doing is they're bidding prices beyond what items are worth, in my personal, and I did it. I wanted to see just how far. It went so far beyond what I would consider, even at a retail value, that I would never bring a specimen to you at what I could buy it for on one of those sites. So I'm just saying that this, at least my particular show, gives you an opportunity truly to buy those quarters for nickels. This specimen, if I put it up in auction, which I certainly would consider going that route, after I saw on a national basis how many people would participate and what they paid, and then they have to pay a buyer's premium on top of that. It was ridiculous. So anyway, you're going to get this way less than you'd ever see it for, which is kind of silly for me offering. This is a Cyber Monday show, though. Remember, this is Cyber Monday. This is the cyber outlet. Of course, GSN is on all kinds of other, media sites. But 7.5 years ago, this show started, and we are still going strong. And when I offer something like this at the price I'm going to offer, there should be, there should be so many of you jumping at the prospect of this. You could actually buy it, turn around, and make money on the resale. Because this is a special opportunity. I am offering, this has never been shown before, but I'm offering Cyber Monday specials. And this is ridiculously one of them, $78. $78. That piece alone should be $378. I'm not kidding you. That is a really special item. And that's the way we're going to start the show. Wait till you see what I have coming up next. Some mind-blowing items. If you don't think you've seen many rock and mineral specimens lately, well, let me show you. Remember, the further we go, the deeper into my vast collection that was beyond my realm as far as what I kept buying over the years. 53 years I've been doing this, remember. Item number 1230924. 1230924. You haven't seen this before. Let me wipe that down just real quick. Get some of the dust off of this baby with my homemade, Osso's homemade, very effective duct tape remover. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that isn't the beautifulest, is that a word? Coolest color that you just don't see, because you know what? You see sphenes. Sphenes is actually one of my favorite stones. I think sphene, at least a number of years ago, was a way undervalued gem to me. And I I created a ring for Raven with a sphene. I've sold a lot of sphenes. It had to be close to a record-sized sphene. And I wonder who got it. I wish they were still watching the show. It was about 6 inches long. I can't see it with my hand. It was gigantic. Yeah, there we go. Chuck's on camera. So it was like at least that long. It was very similar to the shape that you see here, just huge. I want to say 1,400 carats, but it might have been heavier than that. Now, some of the things to remind you, so when we speak metric, and that you want, so you know, to an inch, there's like about 25.4 millimeters. So this is really good to know when you see up there. I don't have anything in inches, it's in millimeters. And you get a more accurate reading than trying to do it by, 1 1/8 of an inch. Millimeters gives you a better, finer reading. Okay, so 36 by 17 at 25 millimeters. Remember, so just round it down, 25 millimeters to an inch. Just think about that. So an inch and a half, half of 25 is 12.5, plus 25 makes it 37.5 inches to 1.5 inches. So at 36, it tells you right there, it is very close, if not just really close, right at 1.5 inches long. 17 millimeters, well, it gives you an idea. 25 millimeters to an inch, half of an inch is 12.5. That's 17 millimeters, so it's like around 1 1/4 inches or so. Keep that in mind. The other thing, carats. When you see things carats to grams, is 5 carats, which I think is such an easy, well done metric weight that they came up with, I don't know, at some point. And carat, the word carat was from the very consistent weight of a type of mustard seed, I believe. And so 5 carats to a gram. Keep that in mind. Now, I think this is just stuck on some of that goop. I haven't taken it off, but I think we probably can safely do it here. You get to see any movers. Oh yeah, what a beautiful, yeah. Oh my. Okay, looking at it that way then, they put the goop on this side. Don't think I would have done that. I think I would have put the goop there because it shows almost a secondary crystal right there that you couldn't see before. Here you can see the whole crystal. So that wasn't me that did that. Yeah, no, I'll put bad face down. But I want to show you the whole thing as it is. Anyway, let me just backlight that for a minute. This is I don't have another one to offer you. Look at the color. Look at that color. That is gorgeous. And what a really beautiful specimen to have in your collection. Oh yeah, here, I remember. Look at that. $200, 79.52. That would be a really, really very fair and good value on that sphinx. I don't know how I came across it, and with that $200 already nicely put on there, it'd be easy to leave that. But how does $88 sound? $88. That is Shawn's world. Sell things for below what you can replace them for. Yep. That's why I wasn't a very good businessman. But you guys take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Okay, I don't know where to keep going because there is just cool item after cool item. Even, in my mind, because I see this stuff all the time. So when I say cool stuff, it's cool stuff. Item number 1230724. Check this out. Look at this. This embraces my birthstone garnet, spessartine garnet, and they have that beautiful color that you think of, the mandarin color. And then, of course, the smoky quartz, growing on the smoky quartz. Now, here is another thing that you have to know that you don't see and that's not mentioned when or if people try to buy online, which I encourage you to look because prices, even like this, out of sight of auction sites are very high. Let's look into this because what you don't see, I already spent time looking in it. I know it's there. Let me see if I can show it to you so you can see it. What it is, and I always wondered if it was possible if there was garnets internally, not just growing on the outside, but growing where the quartz surrounds and covers them up. And there is a spessartine garnet in this, and I would, of course, is one of those things I was able to find it at home. Well, there it is, one of them right there. And that's not even the one I was talking about, right there. You could, right, Chuck? That's inside it. Cameraman, Chuck look at that, right there. And it's in this secondary kind of growth crystal. That's really cool. That's really cool. Engulfed by the quartz around it. There's also one further down in. Actually, I just discovered that one. That's not even the one I was looking for. There it is. You can roughly see a reflection of the orange right down there. That's not on the outside. That's the things you look for. You just don't take it, look on the outside. No, you get the flashlight out, you get all this stuff, you backlight it, you magnify it, you enjoy it. This one, because I'm offering these to where I want to be able everyone to be able to afford it, and irregardless. So when I put a price of only $98 on that I think gives everyone a very fair opportunity to get a really unique crystal that displays so beautifully with the contrasting colors, and it's affordable. Now, let me take you to another price point. This is item number 123524. Let me show you. And this is, I don't know, adorable almost. Take a look at this. Look at this crystal. This is what is amazing. Look at the graphic. I could barely fit in. I had to rearrange letters and words to get all this information in this. Look at how well formed this microcline feldspar crystal is on this specimen. We're not even talking about the specialty yet. Look at the microcline. That is extremely well formed. Then there's muscovite. I know it doesn't look like it because you think of it, but it's a phyllosilicate, meaning it leaves. So you can see how that formation, and it'll be hexagonal in shape on the outside. You can see the layering right there. So it has muscovite in it. It has the specialty. It has the smoky quartz. This one small thumbnail piece contains all, look at that other microcline, the minerals you expect in a bigger piece, Mike. And it is so cool to have them all. And then look at this. Look at the specialties. This is one of the largest ones, and it's really barely connected to, most of the others are like half flattened, half of the crystal grown on it. This, it's almost, a good 3/4 of the crystal is grown on there. Nice color and clarity. And then look at that guy. And then, you know what? I haven't looked on the inside of this one. Let's look. Let's look. Let's see if there's anything like phantoms or internal crystals. Or even in hydros, always look, which I don't always do, so always go behind me. Never know what extra you might find. So let me hold that for a minute. As Chuck finds, there we go. Let's look one more time. I guess that orange I see, is that on the exterior or is that on the inside there, Chuck? Oh, that might be. It might be on the inside of this small crystal. Hold on. Yeah, because there's nothing on the other side except that big one, right? Yeah. So this spot right here, where did I find that? You might have to do some of your magic. There is an orange crystal. There it is. I see it hiding right through there. Hold on, let me get my other pointer. I think I see it hiding right through there, right? Yep, right there it is. Yep, right there it is. So there it is. There's definitely a crystal inside of this small piece. So it has everything going for it in this small size, a whole package deal. I love it. I love it. And you know what? I wish I had a whole lot of them to offer, because, and then, you have this one out here tucked right between, look at the well-formed books of muscovite, those 6, sided crystals, and the perfect microcline. That's a package deal in one. Because you know what? It's not always about how much something's worth. It's just about how low can I make it to make it affordable for anybody. And at $48, you are running to the phone. Here, look at that. See this? That just happens to be at the right angle. Look at this. See this crystal, these V shape on this particular crystal? That is a sign of really a well-formed dodecahedron that you're looking at here. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous crystal. This has so much to offer and displays very handsomely, no matter what direction you turn it. So it's really a wonderful rare piece. $48 on that. Take advantage of it. I do not have another one that's in that price range or going to be priced like that. So I know there'll be more than one of you wanting it. So let's see who, just by chance, is the lucky one. The magic of the show, that's where it has to participate in who gets what. I think that's the great equalizer is the love and the thought, and all of you wonderful people create an environment that helps create that magic. Let me show you something from way long ago. And the Raven has a pendant and earrings of something similar to this, and others. Miss Gabby may have gotten in on one. I'm not sure, but this is certainly one of the last, and I found it, and it was amazing. It was high graded. One item 1227 224. 1227 224. This is a remarkable wire wrapped piece that has everything going for it. Look at this beauty. Look at this. You have, this is what I look at. I look for the termination, the crystalline part. How perfect is the end of it? Is a great place to start. And you can see that it has a wonderful one of the classic terminations, undamaged, which is really important. I'm surprised that they actually used a piece like this for wire wrapping, because it is such a beautiful crystal. Now, let me also show you. Let me just do this. Use a white piece of paper so you can actually see some of the actual colors, as poor Chuck has to adjust the camera so you can see exactly the color range you get. And what you're actually getting here is watermelon. You have green, and then you have white, and you have the pink. And anybody that's eaten a watermelon knows that you have the green rind, you have that icky white part before it turns pink and gets sweet again. And so you can see that that is indeed a green, then a colorless area, and then pink. Now, up at the top, look at that. That is a true colorless Herkimer diamond, and it's one of the finest I've seen. Beautifully doubly terminated, which is a classic look for a Herkimer. The unusual thing is the clarity of it. The clarity is just spotless. Well, it's actually a Herkimer quartz. And I use the word, they call them Herkimer diamonds, but I didn't want to use that to confuse anybody to thinking it's actually a diamond. It's a Herkimer quartz diamond. It would be the whole term, but I couldn't fit all that in the graphic. So they are known as Herkimer diamonds, though they, of course, are not a diamond or have anything even related to a diamond, except for the fact when you have a handful of them, they are diamonds. And guess what? This is what I do. When I see on TV, I always like to watch the anything to do with jewelry or diamond smuggling or anything like that, like the movie The Congo and the other one with the pink diamond and Brad, what's his name, things like that. So I saw one time this bad guy, they were dealing in diamonds, and he had a handful of them that he was giving, and he dumped them out. They actually used Herkimer diamonds. It was really cool to see that it wasn't some other prop. So they actually used genuine quartz crystals, and it looked the closest thing that I've ever seen in television to a pile of diamonds, even though diamonds in the isometric crystal system form cubes and even-sided, bipyramidal, so they can look like the Herkimer diamonds, even though they're not a six-sided type of thing. But people don't know that. When you see a handful of them and the way they glimmer, yeah, they do look like diamonds. Now, that one particularly really fine. Okay, let's talk about the location, Paprok. Paprok, Afghanistan. That is where some of the most amazing crystals have been produced and mined. And I've had some of those incredible crystals that have come from there. Also that large, beautiful green faceted stone. Great mining place for something to be from when it comes to the tourmaline world. Okay, here it is. So here's the length. You can see in my hand, so you get an idea of size. This is a really gorgeous piece of jewelry, and with neither one of those crystals having been altered in any way, it is, you're simply displaying Mother Nature's beauty. I mean, in other words, the crystal's not polished. It's just the way it came out of the ground. All right, price opportunity on this. I remember selling, when we were selling these, and we couldn't keep them. Every one of them sold. We set this one back from that batch, and all these years later, and it's like at least, it has to be at least 8 years. I figure about 10 years ago. I'm actually offering this, and I'm not sure why, less than I think those were selling for then. That is, by the way, for a Paprock tourmaline, extremely clean and all the way through it. How's this price? $188. There's not going to be another one. $188. That gem, look at that. For a watermelon tourmaline crystal, wire wrap with a fine quality Herkimer diamond. That's that's where I lose my business acumen, and I'm not sure really why I make things that way. But anyway, you know, I got back from my memos the other week, and even though some things were bought, a lot of things weren't, and we're not going to get into that. But some of them I could not believe left behind those amazing Umbo River sapphires that had podparachas in them. Oh, okay, now I am going to show you. Let me get rid of that. All right, if I can find it. I have, okay, those are amazing, amazing, amazing. I want it to go with that. And yeah, here we go. Item 1, 2, 3. 30724. 1, 2, 3, 3, 7, 2, 4. My printer wasn't working well, and yeah, hold on, because it's not reading it. All right, let's check this. 1, 2, 3, 0724. You got it? Excellent. Yep, I have it here too. Okay, check this out. This is, oh, I'm so sorry, Asif, we already showed that. What did I do? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have another one similar, is why it confused me. Let me get those out of the way. I tried to be organized, but I didn't have the Raven here to help me set up. Here we go, Asif. 1, 2, 3, 0424. I hope this, yeah, this is the beauty. Yep, this is a showstopper. Okay, let me clean that turntable up just a moment here. And yep, that's what I like about this show. We're just a couple of homegrown boys here showing you rocks and minerals. Check this out. That is world class. That is world class. Look at that. You can barely see the smoky quartz crystal all the way around. Isn't that the coolest thing? That is the coolest thing. And incredible colors, incredible crystals. I love that little point barely sticking out there. I don't know. Let's see if we can see into it at all. I mean, there is very little left. Look at that. Color is coming all the way through the crystal out the other side. So we wouldn't know if there's anything, well, I don't know. Look at the clarity of the smoky quartz you can see down in there. Ah, I see it. You see one? Mm-hmm. Right there. There's an internal one right there. And I am seeing one. Oh yeah, that's obvious. There's one internal right there. That's so cool. And with more light looking down into it. That one goes halfway through. Look at that. So look, there's the portion sticking out, and then you can see how much is within The crystal, see that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's really cool. Well, that's a nice crystal, quartz crystal there, and what a beautiful piece. Mother Nature, that is outstanding. That is outstanding. I love that. Okay, price on this. It is a amazing item. Amazing item. And, you know, I can't help it. I did reference some online items, and what you're seeing are prices that are a fraction. And by a fraction, I don't mean 10% less or 20% less. I am talking about a half, a third, a fifth of what some of these items are selling for that I'm offering them for. And, you know, that's why I'm surprised that anything gets returned, actually. But I think it's because I show so many really nice things at one time. You know, everybody's pocketbook can only absorb so much. So when I re-showcase some things, you know, I think you'll still, and you do, you'll still get them. And you often get them at a few buck discount. So you take the gamble, but it works out. This piece is only $148. And you know, when you compare it, look at the size of it in my hand and the gemminess of it and the rarity of it. And it is a piece that in an auction or straight purchase would be in the range of $300 to $500. So, and that's not hyperbole on my part. That's just me doing a little research. And then my jaw drops and I realize, wow, what a deal everyone has. I'm going to get ready to show you something jaw dropping, but we're going to build up to it for a minute. Let's keep moving here. Yeah, I have a jaw dropper. A little bit more expensive, but everybody will love to see it in a minute. Okay, we have item coming up, item 120. Let me get this out. 122, 8224. 122, 8224. And that brings us to a. It does. It does. An igloo? That would be an amazing igloo. All right, are we ready for this next one? Did I give you? Okay, all the right info. Here we go. This is a piece that, you know, it would be debatable whether you keep it as it is, but so many items like this, people that are gem cutters, before they are mineral collectors, would cut this. Let me show it to you. Look at this. Look at this. Stunning. The Ray Mine. If you're not familiar with the Ray Mine produces some of the most amazing gem silica pieces of any of the places that have gem silica. And this is a striking example of a Ray Mine affordable piece, let's put it that way, of a combination of those copper minerals that I tell you about. And they are, you know, so many things morph or change on its exposure to oxygen, on its exposure to water, and they become a different mineral. So, or as you know, you've seen how malachite morphs over azurite. And it's almost in a disease type of way, the way it takes over. So this piece, I'm just giving you the pleasant glance of the front of it, because to understand it, especially when you talk about gem silica and whatnot, you have to understand how silica absorbs the color and from chrysocolla, the copper, and becomes a amazing gem silica color. Okay, so first, what we have, check this out, malachite crystals. And let's go ahead and, I wanted to do this before, but let's do it right on air with everybody. Shoot right through here, and focus on what's behind and through. Keep going if you can. You can't focus through this to the specimen. See if I pull it out, it goes. I thought I had done that before. Yeah, don't you do something with that macro lens or something?
Actually, move closer to the camera.
Me?
Yeah.
Will it do it if I move closer?
Yeah. Move out a little bit too.
This should be, that's why I wanted to test this. So everybody, you get to see what we go through normally. See, it should focus.
It's separated the distance between the
I did, and it goes blurry, but now can you focus? Try focusing there. If not, we'll go back to the loop. But this had a real wide field of view and a clear presentation. Okay.
Now separate the snow.
Okay, now there's, okay, we're getting there. Okay, now we're separated. Okay. Okay, let's see. I think my light, is my light on? Yeah, my light's on. Is that your full iris?
It's full iris.
Okay.
Keep the stone separated color.
Yeah. I'm just seeing how well this works out. Okay, not quite giving me what I wanted, but we're going to try something else because I know this is proven. Shoot right through here. And let me go back here so we get more light and go right through. That ring looks great. Awesome. Okay, now shoot through there. That's just a 10 power loop.
I'm in all the way.
Okay, you're in all the way? Okay. Let me do that.
Take the roof closer.
Okay, let me turn my light back on then.
Anyway, the roof towards the left. It's still all there.
Yeah, yeah,
Look at the lens, look at him.
yeah, let me see that.
There you go. All right. Now,
Let me try one other lens, and everybody just bear with us because this is how we do it before we normally set up. Let me try this one, and this is tried and true because to see these malachite crystals is an amazing. There we go. This one works well.
iris down.
Yeah, iris down, and there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, you can see the little botryoidal formations of everything from the chrysocolla to the little formations on top of it. Now, this is the thing I don't know. I know the blue is chrysocolla, but those little additional botryoidal formations on top, I would think are chrysocolla as well, but in the copper world, it could be something different. Look at all these combinations of malachite crystals along with the chrysocolla. The little lighter blue could be rossicite, and the lime green that you see, that could be alevonite. And that's what you get in the copper world is really strange other minerals that will all form side by side. Yeah, now we're doing good. Now we're seeing it because look at that. Look how much better. Okay, you can see just how pretty that piece is. Now, here is what is important. And I'll take a minute and because I won't be able to do this for every time I show a gem silica, but this is important. This is how you tell. You can just simply use your tweezers. It's a hardness test. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this actually on the specimen against this material right here. And chrysocolla itself is soft, softer than the tweezers. and it should leave a little mark if it is chrysocolla, or it leaves metal on the specimen itself. Okay,
Yeah.
it left a mark. You can see that mark right there. Now, I can make that mark go away by just using just some oil on my skin, by the way. And see that. So just do that if anything like that bugs you, or you can just scrape away the surface of it. All right, so you can see that is the chrysocolla part. Now, as you go around this piece, you can test. Look at that, beautiful. That's some of the classic botryoidal formation that you see coming from the ray mine for chrysocolla and the gem silica. As you come around this piece, look at all the other different layers of minerals. They're not all malachite or not all chrysocolla. That lighter greenish and yellow colors, they are different minerals. The black, that could be tenorite. Now, when you get closer to the top, let's test the hardness here, because this is where you have a chrysocolla and malachite banding on top that oftentimes the quartz will get its. I'm pressing hard enough on this that you can probably hear it on the mic. See that? That's not scratching it, is it? And it's great, Chuck, that you participate in giving me, yes or no. I appreciate that. Okay, so everybody can see right there, I am making sound. It is not, and I'm pressing hard, it is not scratching this stone at this level. Therefore, this is quartz or silica that has absorbed the copper ions from the chrysocolla on top of it and malachite and turned it blue. Lower level of that, and see, this is something you're not taught when you're buying this elsewhere or at a show. They don't explain or take the time to talk about this. You might have an entire layer that goes down to gem silica all the way through, but you have to test it. Wow, okay. This one is definitely passing. So this is all gem silica. Now, just to show you, wow, yeah. Right there, look at that. So, sorry to the specimen. You see how soft that is? So this is important, and this is how you determine when purchasing a piece. You can't always assume that all that is gem silica. It won't be. It can be, but it's important to know that it necessarily won't be. This piece would cut an extremely valuable piece of gem silica no matter what. There is plenty of gem silica to cut a large cabochon worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And this color blue is extremely in demand. Look how large it is. So yeah, it's going to cut. And look at the thickness of it. That's why I said, if I had not had this put up for as long as I have, if it floated around out there in the mineral industry, it would have been cut up, because it doesn't have like a fantastic malachite formation or something that would be worth saving for that reason. This often is a more of a lapidary use piece, believe it or not. Now, here is where you have some of your cuprite and tenorite. In this piece, your cuprite is going to be some of this reddish material, and often doesn't look much more glamorous than what you see here. You can see there's crystallized other pieces here, including what's probably tenorite right there. You can see all the black across there reflecting it. Oh, now I haven't seen that. Hold on. Whoa, whoa. Look at that. This oh boy. Okay, we're shooting for those acicular needles right there. And just zoom in, iris down, and I'm going to give everyone a treat. I did not look at these. There we go. Look at those crystals. Look at that. Now, This is what I tell you when you look at specimens or pictures of specimens on the internet, and they'll have a picture what you see right, like you see it right there. And it'll be, okay, chrysocolla specimen, and then it won't tell you the field of view. In other words, how far across is that in real life? It looks like a big, large pocket of beautiful acicular needles of rare chrysocolla in that form. The reality of it, when I take that away, is we're looking, of course, at a much smaller area, but big enough that you can see it with your naked eye in this area. So I like it when people will tell you the field of view that you're actually looking at. So let's move this for a moment and make Chuck work really hard there. And look at this, because needles like that, how do they survive? With, you know, my hand, even putting my hand on it and doing the different things before, how did I not smush those? They're all the way across here. They are all the way across, and they are not smushed. And I didn't even really notice them. I should have. Those are impressive. That is why right there, probably this piece did not get cut, because it would have destroyed a very beautiful crystalline formation of chrysocolla. Look at that. Wow, that is gorgeous. And I actually have a 60 times and magnification versus a 10 power loop. And I'm just kind of curious to see, because you have to be really close to the piece for it to focus. Hold on, where am I looking? Let's go up here. Can you focus through that to, let's see. It's blue, so I know I'm over some crystals. So if you can't focus on that, that's, are you all the way one way or the other?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So you can be able to do it at home and focus on an even higher magnification. And if you use that little gizmo that attaches to your phone, they work great. I have taken, oh, look at that on the left. That is focused. Yeah, I did move it away. It's angled away, Asif, you're right. Let me move it over, keeping it at that same angle. Huh. I don't know what happened, but it does work. You can do that at home. Look at that. That entire area is desirable. And you see how I can just get lost? I shouldn't be doing that. I need to be showing other specimens. But that's where I love it so much. And you need to also enjoy the specimen. Inspect every part of it. You want to see something else on this I noticed? Look, there's actually crystals. You see these is actually some type of crystal formation here. And I'm not sure what that is. I'll leave it up to all of you. And then there is pockets. Let me go around this. I remember one of them on the side here. And that's one way the crystals don't get smushed. Look at, there's actually a visible crystal, I think, of tannerite. Ah, there's the pocket. Look at that. Just think if you were a little bitty person, you could walk back in there, how cool that would be. All right, that's enough on that. Enjoy it from home, because you're going to get a deal on this that, remember, it would cut gem silica stones worth a lot of money because of this color. That color is a very valuable color in the gem silica world. I have this priced at some ridiculous price. $77. I'm not even going to change it because of those acicular needles with chrysocolla. I should. $77 is crazy. Let me show you something crazy. Item number 123, 11024. This is homegrown. This is part of my Made in America collection. And a really special item. Do you have it? 12, 28, 224. Wait, oh, I gave you the wrong, hold on. I gave you the right number the first time. 12, 3, 10, 24. Hang on. Okay. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is homegrown, made in America collection. Not only made in America, but how about made in Georgia? Now you're thinking, where could it be? Where could it be? Made in Georgia. Graves Mountain. Okay, Graves Mountain. One of the places in the world that has one of the highest number of different minerals found at that location. What could this be? Look at this. Look at that. Now that is a rutile crystal. That is a rutile crystal in a form you have never seen, and it is simply titanium dioxide. Just like silicon dioxide, except titanium. Look at that. Now, I'm going to raise the roof on this so you can see the actual, some of the actual deep black. Now, if I had a super powerful light, or maybe at the edges, you might be able to get a kind of reddish color tone, but for the most part, yeah, that's dark and opaque. And here's rutile material as well. It's like rutile schist almost, but they're crystals as well. This is heavy for the size that it is, and yeah, there's some green mineral there that I do not know what that is, but the whole piece is heavy. Look at that form. Look at that form to that. And this is not a repair or anything. Okay, if you want to add something amazing from, and my friend actually dug this, the quartz king, he was allowed into Graves Mountain. He's traded favors before. Up in the mountains, he had a bulldozer, and he wanted to go back into Charlie's Creek. For those of you in Georgia and are a quartz hunter, you're familiar with all these different locations. And I've been and had to hike up to Charlie's Creek, and of course it was mined out, but I did find some small amethyst crystals in the creek below it. But this is decades ago. The Forest Service didn't have the wherewithal to be able to, because of course the way they work and the limited resources, they needed to clear a road and they needed a bulldozer. So he was traded with the Forest Service the right to go up to Charlie's Creek, which is in the National Forest, to bring equipment up there and mine at Charlie's Creek if he used his bulldozer to fix. And this is the kind of deals he's made. And so in the end, he didn't really strike anything at Charlie's Creek, but that's why he's the quartz king. He wheels and deals and gets in on places no one else can. And can you imagine getting in on Graves Mountain? He is also the one that found all those amazing lazulite specimens there. The denim colored ones, just really stunning. So anyway, here is one of the largest, very respectable size pieces of rutile, and I know that this is probably closer to what it would cost me, and a really great value for all of you, because I'm offering that for only $68. I really am not sure of the value, but I think it is well beyond that. And the unique part of it, of course, is the origin. Graves Mountain is a very desirable place to have something from in the collector world. And then the size makes it additionally very special as well. Now, as we go further and deeper as time goes on into my collections, you're going to start seeing, like you are now, some really amazing odd things like that. And let's talk about something. I'm just going to show it. I'm going to show it. Some of you are going to go crazy because it is, well, as soon as I say this, you're going to know what it is. The state gem of California. Do you guys, any of you know what it would be? The state gem of California. A lot of people would think tourmaline because, of course, the Himalaya mine, huge tourmaline finds. And that is where also, Morganite discovered, so it could be named for J.P. Morgan, who missed out on the pinkstone kunzite being found, and the famous gemologist getting it named, Frederick Kunz getting it named after him. So they had to come up with something for J.P. Morgan, and they found Morganite. A lot of this material coming from California, but they found a better gem, a rarer gem, a gem that is only really found in California, that completely blows tourmaline away for rarity and for value. I was looking at some of these stones, only 1 carat faceted, were selling for $8,000 to $10,000. Let's look at item number 1230624. It may not be pretty, but it is rare. Here it is. I'll just give you a quick look because it looks pretty cool in this box. But let me take this jewel out, and it is a jewel. This is, by way of shape, a euhedral crystal of bonitoite. Euhedral meaning it is in its very close to the perfected shape that type of formation and crystal forms in, with the triangular shape, with the flattened corners, with the flat top. This adds a bonus with a additional crystal growth on the top. This is not mounted. This is all on a natural stone called naturalite, as a matter of fact. And it looks like it's been mounted. You can see the blue-gray color. The really cool thing is, very few gems or any minerals fluoresce under shortwave light. This is one of the best shortwave. And Matt, haven't heard from you in a bit, buddy. That's probably because you're having fun with that Geiger counter you got. Well, bonitoite, you have to have a shortwave ultraviolet light for, and it fluoresces. Beautiful, beautiful whitish blue. It's one of the ways I would use to tell bonitoite from sapphire. It worked really quick and really well. And it's great to have something that will fluoresce under shortwave light. That is a beautiful display right there of a euhedral shape, meaning of the shape that it is supposed to form in a very perfect way. Gets that definition. Even specimens like this that are not gem quality are expensive because of the shape of the crystal, and it's just a well-defined crystal shape. But I have this priced for anybody can afford. One of the rarest gems. It's often in the top 10 for rarity and value, and I'm offering that one, I think, well below what it should be going for. I had a box of flat of these, and I'm so silly. I bought and sold them a good 10 years ago, but I was selling them for like $20 a piece. Now, they weren't quite as well formed as this, but there's certainly, it was, for those of you that got in on that deal, congrats, because there are no more opportunities like that. This one, again, for the shape and what I'm offering it for, well below the market. I'm offering it for only $58. Only $58. And you can have one of the rarest gems in the world. Even as a crystal specimen, they're very rare. Now, what I'm going to show you next might take your breath away. It did mine. And we're segueing to it from that specimen and showing you that first, because almost everyone you see looks like that one. This is item number 1230024. It is from the California State Gem Mine, which used to be the Dallas Mine, which used to be the bonitoite mine. Look at this bonitoite. Now this is a bonitoite. Breathtaking. Simply breathtaking. 3 well-formed euhedral crystals. There wasn't enough room to put all the information I wanted to put on this piece. This is aesthetically for 3 crystals, stunning. And in the bonitoite world, there is so little material coming out. And actually, some of the mines are basically shuttered, what they call extinct. And so, as not to confuse you, because it did me, California State, Gem Mine. That's a long name. What is that? Well, yeah. So it's been renamed like 3 times. I know it as the bonitoite mine. I'm still going to call it the bonitoite mine. But it was the Dallas mine and is now the California, just so you can keep up the California State Gem Mine, on and on and on. And now, let me just spin this for you. It's not connected, only with some of that, goop I don't like. Look at this, and look at it carefully as I turn this. Well, you know what? Let's let the machine do it. There we go. Look at the color and the transparency. Not translucency. There is transparency, especially to the tip of the crystal. I could actually cut some flawless, smaller stones, or you could facet a larger one. You expect flaws to be in a bonitoite gem of any size, as long as you have that blue color. And these will fluoresce amazing. Look at the little bit of natural light. The black. This has it all. The black is Neptunite. Neptunite, named after. This is a great story. So, it was named because it's very similar to the mineral agarine. Now, agarine, if you remember the tales, agarine was named after a known god, Norse god of the sea. So we know Neptune was kind of the Greek, I guess, or Greek-Roman version of the god of the sea. And they're chemically closely related to each other. So Neptunite, though, being very much more rare. Remember, agarine is the mineral that is associated with those beautiful agarines from Mali that are associated with, feldspars and prenites. Also, agarine is in the black material that's in charoite and a lot of other minerals you don't realize. So they're part of an amphibole family. So Neptunite, though, is one that is not nearly as common to be found. When you see these crystals and when you follow them through to each other, they are very complete. Look at this one. Here is an outstanding one. So you have a complete corner here. Look at the triangular shape and follow it through. So you have a perfect triangle. Remember the flat corners? There's the flat corner. You have this one is forms all the way triangle to the top. Let me see. Nope, no flat top, which is fine. Then you can see here is the other corner. It comes all the way out to here. And then the other corner becomes part of this crystal and comes out here. And so basically, it's a complete crystal. If you follow this one, and remember there's different habits, in other words, different shapes of it. If you follow this one, you can also see it comes down here, a little bit of damage right here. But if you follow through to the other corner of it, it is actually, it would be right here. I'm not sure where this corner emanates from, but that is a large crystal. And then here's the third one with the corner here, and then the corner back here. But look how they they grew within each other. So let me remove this. and show you again. Here's the Neptunite. There's several little crystals of it. Look at that, how complete it is. You know, when you think of in the world of bonitoite, most of the crystals are within matrix, and they have to hand remove a lot of that material to get to individual crystals like this. I'm not sure the history of this particular piece, if it was found loose like this or if it was removed from matrix. But either way, it is stunning. You have, look at that large Neptunite crystal, naturalite, which is all the white found with these. The clarity, let me put the light behind this. Now, very similar to sapphire colors, but the value for the identical item compared to a sapphire is multiples more than sapphire. Look at that. Look at that. See the clarity? Look at the clarity. This is what I'm talking about. This specimen could easily be faceted, used as something to facet, and the money very easily recouped. But I'm a crystal lover, and I, you know, of course, master cutter, gem cutter, but I think my love for the natural shapes overtakes and wins over the desire to destroy something so beautiful by Mother Nature. But in a way of determining value, I often do look at it as, well, what would it cut in a specimen like this, you know? So, in all honesty, a specimen like this, I'd probably keep it like this. But think about this. You see this, the color of this right here? It's a long partial triangle with all the depth I want. So as a cutter, I can look at this one piece and see it cut a large shaped stone following the natural shape of the crystal. And that would be that one. There would be at least 3 different stones of considerable size that I probably could cut out of this piece and certainly recoup value. Now, that's like looking at a wonderful, beautiful animal and thinking about what kind of fur coat it would make. And so, you know, that's the way I look at this. The beauty of Mother Nature's crystal wins over the desire of what the man-made fasted stone might bring or cut afterwards. But again, that's why I stunk as a businessman. And so look at that. Look at that. I am telling you, where are you going to find a bonito? Now, it's not inexpensive, nor should it be. It has to reflect the rarity that it really is, and it is a genuinely very rare item. And it's not a single crystal. It's a beautiful cluster of them. And let me put this in the middle so you're not chasing it. You know, but the price I am going to price it at is one that is a fraction. And I mean a third to a fourth to a fifth of what it would be in a market environment. Outside of this one, it is a barium titanium silicate. Isn't that weird? That is weird to have barium and titanium together. Silicate, hardness of 6.5. Crossite is the gray blue material that's on this one as well. See some of that gray blue? It's called crossite, and it is an amphibole as well. And then Neptunite has a really unusual chemical formula. It's a potassium, sodium, lithium, iron, titanium silicate. I think they basically call it a lithium silicate, but it has potassium, sodium, Fe, 2+, iron, and titanium as well. So that's probably where it's getting the titanium, why that connection to it and source of titanium allows an unusual mineral Neptunite to form, as well as the bonitoite. Amazing shortwave fluorescence. If you're a fluorescence lover, then this would be a really rare, unique one for you. All right, let's get down to business. And you might know that that's information, all this other information. I didn't write that on there. So it doesn't matter. It's worth what I feel it's always worth, which is well below the market, which again is another reason I'm a bad businessman. Yeah. Here is a deal, a really good deal of a lifetime on a specimen like this. And, you know, this is one that certainly go and try to compare it to others from whatever sources that you want to look at. Now, one of the places, I can't believe they have so many specimens, is another TV network, well known, but wow, they are not the inexpensive place that I thought they used to be. And the president has retired, and he was the gem lover. So he was the one for the company that he encouraged even a line of mineral specimens that they sell. So out of curiosity and price comparison, I sometimes go to that site and look at what they have and am blown away. Of course, that's why they're a very profitable company, at what they charge. So use them for a source too to compare. This one, only $678. $678. And it is worth, it's one of the most valuable specimens I've ever featured here and unique at Gem Shopping. It's just one of those that in time, the value of that material has shocked me for how it's gone up in value. There's only one source. There's only one place. And there's like no material coming out. Nothing of any consequence. This is at least 15, 20 years old that I can go back to. That is an amazing bonitoite. Now, they get better. There's better ones. But you're talking well into the four figures. And that's just, you know, I stay out of that range kind of item. Let's look at something else you love. 1229, 224. 1229, 224. You bought up those two I offered before. These have not been altered in any way. You're going to love it. They are gold specimens. And yes, natural specimens. Let's look at one of them. Say goodbye to that stunning bonitoite. Look at that. Stunning, 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 stunning in every way. Now, let me wipe this down, and you're gonna ooh la la in a moment over something that I have been chasing in the woods and would go crazy if I found this specimen. Look at that. Look at that. This is why you people get gold fever and do crazy things. Myself, most likely included in the word crazy. I have had gold fever for a long time. This specimen has everything that you would find in a gold vein. Okay. It is actually very, very attractive because the tetrahedrite, remember, okay, so normally you get this specimen and someone would say, oh yeah, that's a golden quartz. And they won't tell you what anything else is. Well, I'm not like that. I have to know what everything is. You can see that this is shot through completely with native gold. What they use an acid that even my chemistry craziness will not touch. Hydrofluoric acid. It's the kind of acid, if you get a drop on you, you'll be able to see right through you in a moment because there's nothing that's going to stop it from burning completely through your body. It's one of those things, kind of like you see on those sci-fi movies. There is such an acid called, it dissolves quartz. This piece, I can tell, has not been through that process. The quartz is still coarse, and it would have removed more of the gold, more of the quartz exposing the gold, which would make it really pretty. Almost all those specimens you see of beautiful gold, crystalline gold and all, were didn't survive that way. They were embedded in quartz. And when you dissolve, just like you dissolve calcite away from so many specimens, you dissolve quartz away and leaving the beautiful specimen that it was able to preserve in all that time. This piece is just a natural piece that broke off from a piece of ore. And that's what I love. I love the natural look to it. Now, there's a good bit of gold in here. And the gold at the 16-to-1 mine ran at a high carat percentage, 21, 22 carat. Now, the tetrahedrite, we're going to see something, how well we can zoom in again, because I want to show you what you look for. How do you know it's a tetrahedrite compared to sphalerite and galena and other ore body minerals? Well, there's something in the name that helps the tetra part and the hedrite part, and put those together. Okay, for one, you can see there's let's look at here. Okay, so you can see that there's crystallization. Look at those crystals. They have different habits as well. So what you look for when I quickly look at a specimen to see whether it's a sphalerite or could be something else, I look for what I found on this. Look at all that gold. I mean, there's gold completely through this piece. So here we go. There it is. All right, Chuck, let's do our magic again. And I'm going to show everybody what you're looking for. Look at those triangles. You can see them right there. You see them reflected? That's all we're doing right there. Let me get the light. There they are. There they are. Those triangular shaped crystals. Let me actually get the better one here. And there we go. Look at how beautiful that is. Now, where were those crystals? So they were right there reflecting, but they're not anymore. Let me move my light. And that back distance. There we go. We're going to find them now. If I don't just stay on that. Look at the gold. So it's things as little as a triangular shaped crystal. And you can see one right there in the center of your screen. There's one of them. And to be able to determine or discount other particular minerals, that's if you care. I mean, if you only care about it being gold in the quartz, then it doesn't matter. But I'm not one of those. I like to know what everything is, and I want to know where those triangles went, because they looked really cool together. I can see them right there. So let's try this one more time. And this is what you need to do at home. You need to examine pieces at the highest level of magnification that you have, and make notes, and you'll compare to other specimens and figure out what is what. So this had those very well-defined triangular shaped crystals. And when I saw that, that told me it was tetrahedrite and not sphalerite. There's other areas with those crystals shaped as well too that you'll be able to find. Okay, so this specimen, look at how beautiful that displays. Let me show it in my hand so you get an idea of actual size. And so it's certainly big enough to wire wrap. And remember, gold right now, 1 gram of gold is about $85. This piece has 6.5 grams. You subtract the weight of the tetrahedrite. Quartz isn't very heavy. You can easily get to the value of the gold, per se, in this piece. it was 16, named 16 to 1 mine because that was the ratio in value of gold to silver. For a long time, gold was like $16, $17 an ounce, and gold was $1. So that was how it's got its name. It was only discovered in 1896, one of the most prolific mines, and still in 1896, you know, when the big gold rushes were happening in 1848 at Sutter's Mill, you had the gold rush here in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1828. Many of your big gold rushes happened. The Klondike rush to Alaska happened, oddly enough, around the same time as the time this particular mine was discovered. Now, here's the thing. It was very spotty. They would find runs in one run of 40-foot vein one time exposed. They call it a chute. Yielded $2 million in gold and was on average 1 ounce of gold per metric ton. And that is a lot in the value, how they determine whether a vein is worthwhile or not. That goes well beyond. When they do heap leaching, they're profitable at 0.03 ounce per ton. And that was when gold was at $3.50 an ounce. So gold, $2,500 to $2,700 an ounce now, making a lot of these old mines profitable in today's market. They were long abandoned when gold was stuck at $17 an ounce, then $35 an ounce for a long time. Finally, when it was allowed to float freely on the open market, is what allowed gold to go higher, because it was held at that price intentionally. In another pocket of quartz and gold, they called it in a single pocket, 2,600 ounces in 1993 from a single pocket, 2,600 ounces. Figure that for value. At $1,000 an ounce, I believe that, what is that, 2.6 million? And at what it is now, it would be roughly 6 million. I mean, crazy. But the mine was spotty like that. It now yields strictly gold and quartz for the jewelry market. And I sold a few of those a few weeks back. Remember the gold and in the quartz? They were from the 16 to 1 mine because you can cut and polish them. All right, so this is a specimen piece. And when you break out the potential value of the gold alone, and remember, specimen pieces go for more money than what the value of the gold is, because it's the rarity of the specimen, because most of it is all crushed up. They mine this particular mine strictly for specimens and for jewelry use gold now. So this one with the tetrahedrites, an excellent opportunity. I am offering that piece for what would be, let's say there's, that's really stupid, Shawn. If there's only 3 grams of gold in there, that would cover. Wow. Okay, let's do this. Here's the opportunity for everybody. I'm going to offer that piece at what the potential value of the gold in it is. I don't know. That's probably not very bright. I'm going to make it $298. $298. If you have 3 grams of gold out of the 6.5, remember gold is the heaviest item in there at 19 times the weight of water, then you're not adding any value for the specimen. You're at the value of the gold itself. All right, now let's look at item 1230024. 1230024. I'm going to give everyone. Oh, sorry about that. No, skip that. Awesome. Sorry. I was trying to sell another bonitite. Got so much in front of me. And I get so excited about this stuff. It's so cool. Here it is. Item number 1229324. 1229324. So 2 people are going to get an opportunity And let me put this bonitoite back in its little home. Check this out. All right, so first, here it is in the, look at that. Look at that. That looks beautiful. Look at that, just sitting in the box. That looks stunning. And what, you know, this, I don't know, there's just something about gold. So tetrahedrite on the other one, by the way, it's a copper with antimony. Yeah, antimony with 2 types of sulfur. Iron can replace the it's copper, and it can replace one of the molecules, and it can also be replaced by cadmium and mercury. So it can vary a little bit depending on the exact content of tetrahedrite, and which will change the color a little bit, but it'll still always be in that crystal system. Now, this piece, you can see it's very aesthetic. It's also not been dissolved away, which I like. When you get a piece that's been dissolved, the quartz will look dissolved. It'll be rounded and it's just noticeable. And you can see, though, how if this tumbled down a mountain, this little piece broke off from a bigger piece, and all of a sudden the quartz gets busted up going down the hillside, winds up in the river below, and so you can see how the gold in the river would easily be rounded and pounded down into the little nuggets that we so often see. We don't see gold, alluvial gold, with sharp edges or anything unless it's freshly been put there, which then you go find the mother lode. But when you find them rounded and pounded and broken out of the gold, it's been in the creek a while and may have traveled down that creek a good ways, making finding the mother lode harder to find. But that's how they do. They find it in the creek. They keep going up the creek until you don't have gold. Then you realize where the gold entered the creek and can backtrack it from there. Let's look on the inside of this and see what we have. Look at that. Now that is a specimen. Isn't that neat, Chuck?
Cool.
Isn't that neat? Who would not go running to the woods to find that? That is mesmerizingly beautiful. And gold fever is real. I bought a brand new Kubota for that reason. And of course, found dollars of gold, but it's the allure of it. Bless you. Look at that. Look at that. That can be wire wrapped, but you know what? That's just better as a specimen. Here it is in my hand so you can see the relative size. And here's the thing, 2.3, look at that, grams. The quartz actually adds to it, don't you think, Chuck, that it actually makes it more aesthetically appealing? Picture if all the quartz was, acidified away. I don't think it would be as attractive. I love the contrast of the gold. And, in this case, of course, the gold is holding it all, the quartz is holding it all together. It's like pebbles. There's some dark material there, but it's mostly just all gold. It's mesmerizing. It really is. Let's put it in the middle, spin it for a middle moment while I look up. Look at that. That looks like it should be in a museum. And that's the other thing. If you take a picture of that, one of those blown up things, you think it's really big and stunning, like $1 million piece, and it can be made to look that way. That's why dimensions are so important when you see them. Okay, on this piece, I don't know where to go with it, so let's just make it the same price as the other one. Same price as the other one. Which one, how much was that? $298. Yeah, that's a deal. $298. And of course, in this case, there's an absolute specimen value. In other words, a premium put over the gold, as there is in all gold specimens. you know, I used to get them from the people that get the materials directly from the 16-to-1 mine. If you remember the live show, I had big pieces of golden quartz that were upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I offered here on on my show. It's been gem collectors for all many years, even prior to this. So if you watch the old show, you might have seen it. And these pieces were huge and stunning, but you could see if you sawed slabs out of it, it would polish into gorgeous gold in quartz pieces like I had featured a few weeks back. And, you know, so many of you scooped those up and wanted them. So this piece is an amazing display piece. You can just have and put in the cabinet, put a light on it, make it look like it does now, or put it in one of these little boxes and carry it in your pocket as a power totem piece kind of thing, you know? It's just, there's just something about it that makes you feel energized. So that's how I feel about it. All right, let me take a 1-minute break here to pick up some things. I'll be right back. Oh, you haven't seen one of these in this show before, and will not see another because I don't have another. The Rutile Hematite Stars. Look at this. I want to start off with this one beautiful piece. Look at that. You have a wonderful, well-formed, smoky quartz crystal. Then, the Hematite Star. Look at the piercing of one of the legs of the star right into that smoky quartz, right through it. How cool is that? Then look at another one of the arms stretches all the way across to this other hematite star. Then when we actually stop, which that's what you have to do with all your mineral specimens, stop and slow down and look to the little areas. Look at the little reflections. Those little reflections, look at that. There's another crystal bridge across the material. And when we look back here, you look at all those reflections. Those are little tiny crystals. Look at one in that smoky quartz. There is so much to look at. Look at going down in there. Now, see this coating? This is actually desirable. I looked, there was another one that was like this. See that? That's done on that. You can see a smoky quartz. And the fella had an X-ray diffraction done on what this material was. And it was a combination of mica, hematite, and another mineral creating that. So you don't ever want to clean these or put them in anything because it will, you know, take that off potentially, which you don't want it done. Nova Horizonte is the place for those rutile stars. That's where this one is from, and it is a really well-formed and very aesthetically attractive piece. The X-ray diffraction actually saw and said that there was some microcline on the surface of this as well. You can see the little reflection of the rutile on this. That's why it actually is very cool. Look at those little reflective crystals on this. Some may be mica as well. Look at down, look at that, look at through that, look at that big rutile. This is why a specimen like this, hours you can spend. I know I do and would. Look at here, you have a lot of things to look at everywhere. Look at all that. To examine, this is one where you can find other minerals. There's, okay, so look at this long leg from this star going over to this hematite center. Look at the cluster and look at how none of these terminations have any damage. That is always real important to high-end collectors. This is in excellent shape. Then look at this. Look at another hematite center with the rutile coming from it. There is several hematite centers. And then you even get kind of a hematite crystal formations. Look at all that going on. And you can follow each rutile crystal and see where it winds up. Some wind up piercing. Look at, there's another wonderful smoky quartz piercing the smoky quartz. This is exciting. This has much to tell and to show off in so many different angles and ways. It's a beautiful specimen. And I don't know. It's one of those that's tough to give up, but I'm going to do it. These go for big money, of course, as they should. This one, with as many centers and all, I'm offering it at a amazing opportunity, only $148. $148. Now, I better get going here. I got lots to show. Item number 1227024, but do not miss out on special pieces like that. I could go into more detail and show them, but you know what? I've told you the basics, everything you need to know. Now, when you buy something like that, enjoy it. Don't just look at it. Enjoy it. Look at it and study on it. You'll learn so much more. Now, what can you learn from this? What can you learn from that? Yeah, it doesn't even fit in the screen. That is a whopper size ruby. Look at that. So that is one of those euhedral rubies that you have seen me feature before. I featured a big crystal just the other week. Not sure if it sold or not, but it would be a beautiful before and after type of opportunity to get both if you want. I'll see if I can't find it in a few here. But look at this. This is an amazing quality. Amazing quality. Most of these large ones have a lot of internal other impurities, iron oxides, you know, even types of mica can be in on the inside. Just a lot of them. Not this. This is very fine. And of course, this thick, it's not going to transmit any light, but it certainly, you can see from the edge, look at that there is a translucent nature to this. And every single part has been polished. That actually penetrates further than I thought it would. Look at that. So you have a dynamic look. Oh, and talk about fluorescent. You know, ruby fluoresces beautifully. Anyway, this piece just lights it up with a fluorescent light. It is such a gorgeous red. So if you have a fluorescent collection, this is an amazing, amazing piece. Look at that. Look at that. That is a true ruby in every sense of the word, including the color. The color is a lot more red than you see a lot of those other ones like that. And I have this at a ridiculous opportunity. These large ones are difficult and, if not nearly impossible. This goes back at least 10 years ago. And so is the price I'm offering at. Only ridiculous, $259. Only $259. That is exceptional for that. Have something no one else would ever have. What a great addition to a collection. Now, let me show you. Here is a great addition. Item 1230224. This is our special Cyber Monday show, so I am bringing out the goods. And this next one will, if that one didn't, you know what? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Have this for the base for this. Ha ha! Look at that. Would that not make a stunning opportunity at a incredible display? All right, just throwing that out there. Look at this piece. This is remarkable, and this is the kind of specimen that collectors love to see, that you know, makes it on the cover of magazines. This is the one that I know. This one is at least 10 years old, about 10 years old. And it could go back further than that, but I know that my possession of it is of a at least that long. Now, this is really unique because when you look at this, you first think that that is Clevelandite. Those blades are Clevelandite. They're not. They're not. They are actually a habit of quartz. There are 800 different habits of quartz that have been determined. And so when you look at this, you can see the terminations. Look at how flat these crystals are. Now, you guys might be looking at the tourmalines, but I was looking at the quartz because of its unique nature. Look at, see how each of these end, these kind of, that's a quartz termination type, except it is in a two-dimensional flat formation that I have never really seen. I would have thought that that is, but I did a hardness test. Here's another. These are blades of quartz. And again, the terminations are very quartz-like. So these other, I couldn't see any reference to chalcopyrite or anything on them. Not exactly sure what the other black crystals are. Look at this piece. Look at how long this is. Now, this is what I think is lepidolite. See these little white growths? You can actually take a even the end of the tweezers, and this will flake off the surface if you wanted to clean it off. But I don't know if you would, because it's kind of pretty. Look at the lepidolite. Look at the growth of it down here. So you can see it actually, oh yeah, that's what I want to show. There's a quartz crystal right there with lepidolite growing up the little crystal. Isn't that cool? Look at that little tiny crystal is trying to survive and making its way. And let's see where that is. And let's look at that.
Right there.
There we go. There it is. Look at that. A little cluster of them. Look at that. That's what I mean. If you don't get out and study on them, you don't find really neat things. These things add value. These things add value to a specimen. So here's the thing that was amazing to me, that this piece is actually quartz. And you can clean off, if you want, again, and show off just the quartz. Now, let's look at the tourmalines. The one way to tell that this was and it had already been sold to me, and I knew it as a Paprock specimen, but upon researching other Paprock specimens, they're known, some of them are known to have this thin little pink cap to them. And look at that. That's exactly what it has. This is tricolor. This is actually a super deep green here. Then you have a lighter green. Then look at that. Look at that light pink cap. And only that narrow and thin. This was one of the definable ways you could tell a Paprock specimen was because of that thin cap. And look at the termination on these. They're beautiful terminations, all in place, just strictly flat with the little pinacoid corners. And there's another one down here. Look at this one. You have another tourmaline right here, very gemmy. Another tourmaline in a rare color, yellow, that actually looks like it turns color a little bit. Something doing that. Wow. Oh, look at the center. So this is a bicolor going the other way on the C-axis of the crystal. That's kind of different, very different. So see back in here, if you wanted to, you can clean all that awful scrape, even on the back side of these, and just leave quartz. But that's how you can do it if you want to play around and clean some of these up and learn how to do specimen preparation. Look at this though. These are amazing flat quartz crystals. And I hadn't really seen anything like that. Like I said, normally they're Clevelandite, but they're not. Look at the bottom of this. Look at that. You can see the other color. This is impressive. Even the base. And I like the natural. It's not sawed. Not sure how they removed this from the matrix, but they did. Now, over here, look at this. Look at this. Here. And here is something really unique. And it certainly, I kept thinking, is that really quartz? If we iris down just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now we can see the side of this. And you can see it has the quartz surface. And look at that stepped growth. But here's what is amazing. It's curved. Look at the curvature. So I checked it because, I see that in selenite and things like that, but not in quartz. That, I think, is something different and special in this piece. Again, I checked the hardness and it checked as quartz because I certainly was thinking it was other things, but no. Look at that thin piece coming out from it. This is one of the most unusual specimens for quartz. Skip the tourmaline. As quartz alone, it makes it really unique, in my opinion. Look at this crystal down here is another pink capped one. So this one that you don't hardly even see is another stunning crystal, actually, because you have that beautiful pink cap on it. These, if that was put into an auction after what I've seen, this would easily bring $700-800 in auction. And that is, that's a lot. I mean, to me, I wouldn't pay that, but the value is there because, as my dad always say, something is only worth what someone is willing to pay for. And that doesn't make any difference, does it? And so if people pay this for auctions, I guess that puts a value to things like this. Something like this, with all the aesthetic characteristics it has, would easily be bid up to a price that would be beyond what I would think it's worth. But I don't know the market like I used to as much, so you get the benefit of that because I am offering that piece at a ridiculous opportunity of only $348. Only $348. And if you collect pap rock material, that would be a wonderful addition to it. A wonderful addition. Okay, let me keep moving here. Oh, this one, talk about a rarity. Item number 1229024. 1229024. Very rarely do you get an opportunity like this. This is a sheet of silver with bornite on it. Look at that iridescent bornite. Now, bornite is another metallic ore material that is simple in its chemical makeup, but adds an amazing iridescence to it. It comes with this information sheet. So the thin white sheets in the blue-gray rock is silver. The rock is called bornite, and the silver in it has kept this mine running for over 400 years. That is how old this mine is. This mine was discovered in the 1500s, 1600s, the early days of the Spaniards. And though I believe it was known to the indigenous people for some time before that. So bornite is only a copper iron silicate. And so very simple chemistry. It was named in honor of Ignaz von Born, an Austrian mineralogist, in 1845. Chalcopyrite. Okay, so bornite is Cu5Fes4. 5 atoms of copper, 4 atoms of sulfur, 1 of iron. So remember, just Cu5Fes4. Chalcopyrite is Cu-Fe2. So the same 3 minerals in the same order, bornite just has more copper atoms and more sulfur atoms than chalcopyrite. So copper iron sulfide is what we're looking at here. Now, of course, silver always tarnishes. So this entire plate is silver. You can actually feel the weight. This would bend real easily. You can see it right there. So you want to try to keep and take care of that because it could be, move back and forth and be broken off. It is really neat though to have that. It just adds character to it. And you can see the bornite up underneath it. Look at that. I have never had a specimen like this with the combination of the bornite and the silver, and from such a famous locality. This is a real collector's piece, and only have the one, so take advantage of it. I have priced it as a bargain, especially with the price of silver these days. It's only $148. Only $148. A gem, a real gem. Now, oh man, I better keep cooking here. let me show you. Oh, Shawn. Time. Okay. I have so many things. Item 1228, 124. 1228, 124. Let's go. Stay on this side of the globe instead of going south of the United States. Let's go north. How about a trip to the Jeffrey mine in, well, Miss Penny should know where it is. It's kind of in her area in Quebec. And this is an amazing Vesuvianite. And the Jeffrey mine has some of the most beautiful Vesuvianites on the planet. Here's a label that comes with it. So you can see Jeffrey mine, asbestos QC for Quebec. So asbestos is actually the name of the town. They actually changed the name of the town, I heard, because, of course, the bad press asbestos got. And so, yeah. All right. Look at the large size of the Vesuvianite. Remember, the other name for Vesuvianite is idocrase. It can be used and has been used as a gemstone. Not too many people familiar with it, but you can see that there would be facetable material in it if it's that clean in this specimen. When you get over here to this purplish type of color, that is actually Vesuvianite also. And they were beautiful, beautiful specimens when they're all purple and whatnot. So it's really neat to see that. Let's see. There is other goodies on this. Wow. That could be Vesuvianite too. I would check it though. Look at that. That's on something. On something. That's giving you a lot of information, doesn't it? Check it for quartz. I can't check everything. You guys got to do your homework too. This is a great piece to have though, as a representation of some of the material that comes out of Jeffrey Mine. Jeffrey Mine is like Graves Mountain. That has so many minerals that have been found there. It is a wonderful, wonderful place that it'd be cool to be able to go dig in there for a while. Price on this guy, I have a super opportunity, $38. Wow, $38 on that. Okay, we'll move on from the $38. Let's get to this one. Ho, ho, ho. All right, all right. Chuck is going to prove his metal here on this one. Item 1228, 724. Have you chased a bubble yet?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have some experience on bubble chasing? We got an anhydro, folks. We have an anhydro to show you, and I love anhydros. And you're getting to see some of my collection now as I divest some of them. Now, this one, I don't think it's going to be very difficult to find, at least not the big one. It's one of the largest bubbles I've ever seen. Check this out. We'll go straight to the big bubble first, and I can find it from here. Look at this. Okay, you see that? That's the bubble. And you're going to see it. Look at it in a moment. There we go. Look at that bubble. It's huge. And as I move it back and forth, you can easily see it move. Let me give a little backlighting to it there. Oh, got some irises going on. All right, ready? Look at that bubble. Let me backlight that over here. There we go. Okay. That is a big bubble. It moves all the way to the end and then retreats back. Look at that. Now that's a bubble that can't be missed. You know, I think about that and you think that water is millions of years old. Talk about mineral water. There is some serious minerals in there, and the scientists actually get a lot of information from studying the makeup of, look at that, these bubbles. Okay, that one, it's amazing. Now that one, there was actually a big circle drawn around it. I remember when I got it, like someone wouldn't be able to find it, so they had to mark it out. I looked at this. Let me show you let's look at this for a minute, because if there was not another bubble in here, I was just not going to be believing it. Oh, here's the other cool thing. Look at this. It's a scepter. So a scepter crystal is when the bottom of the crystal is narrower than the top of the crystal. And you can see that is certainly the case. So that is a bonus and makes it more valuable. There's the bubble. Look at that bubble move. Well, okay. Now, as we look at this, if you can focus in just below the surface, you're going to see so many areas that, as I turn this and backlight it, so many areas that look bubbly, like they would be a bubble. Let me show you. Let me get the angle right. You see all these little cavities here, all these little pockets, these lengthwise running pockets. They're actually water. And there's actually bubbles in some of them, but the bubbles are trapped. They won't move. You can see one right there. There's a bubble right there. Look at that. See how well formed that is? I could not get that bubble to move for anything, but it's a bubble. It's an anhydro bubble. You can tap these. You can warm them up too. If you warm up the crystal, it will cause them to be a little bit more viscous, and sometimes they'll move that way. There it was so many opportunities. So I kept looking and I kept looking and I kept looking. I said, okay, look down here. If you can see, look at all these areas right there. Perfect right there. That's perfect, like bubble territory. Well, I kept looking until now. I had to mark it. In between these two arrows, which are getting worn off, I just marked it the other day. All right, this is one of those lines, and there is a bubble in between those two lines. And let's see if you can see the bubble. You see the bubble? Mm-hmm. And the bubble actually moves easily. If you can follow that bubble, I think we have good lighting on it. And then let's move. See it move? Yeah. Did you see it move? Yeah. Okay, so the bubble is at the very point of the left arrow. And let's tilt it back this way. And there it goes. There it goes to the other end. And let's do just one more thing. And that would be, I certainly need an assistant next to me. I used to have one. Used to have a couple. Okay, let's see. Let's find the bubble. There we go. See how much easier it is when you mark it? Okay, there's the bubble. And now let's rotate it and watch the bubble. I've got it at a different angle. Go to, there it is at the other end. So and there the bubble goes. I got the light in a different place, but and there it is at the other end. So I discovered that bubble on my own, and I figured there couldn't be just one bubble. And I stand by the fact that there couldn't be just two bubbles. I think there's more. There are so many bubbly areas. Look, see all these? It's really cool when you actually get to looking at it and you see all the opportunities. The light reflected on this just there they are, just right. There they are. Look at all those. Just right. You can see them throughout. So this is one of those really fun anhydros, and I would bet you that there's another one to be found. All right. So a scepter anhydro piece. Very collectible, very desirable, and I have it for you at a bargain. Where? You see a bubble?
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, and the little one.
And the little one, absolutely. Those are absolutely bubbles, and the key is, can you get them to move? And that's what's so fun, you know. Okay, so that's sitting right there near. Let me see if we flip this around. And then let me backlight this. See if we can find it again. There's the big bubble. Did the big bubble move? Don't tell me it moved. I tried forever to get that to move. I don't see the little bubble.
I don't see a smaller one. I see.
I see the big one. Okay, so it's right there. Let me see if we get it to move. Oh, did it move up just a little? I can't tell either. Oh, it did.
Yeah,
it did. It did. Oh, you and I both saw it at the same time, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, you see everybody how it's resting right against these? Now watch. There it goes. It just moved off of them. You see that? It just moved a little bit more. Okay, so watch that bubble, everybody, and watch it move back right to the whitish edge. There it goes. Boom. It did move. Good job. You spotted. That's the one we looked at earlier, but I couldn't get it to move. I even saw that at home. Oh, it's moving even further. Okay, so it's way up here. Wow. Where'd it go? I've had them disappear too. Into other little channels. How cool is that? That bubble is there. It's there to stay. But it just will reform. There it is, right there. There it is. I don't remember it being there though. Okay, let's look at that again. Boom. Yep, there it goes right there. Oh, there it goes. Just rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
Yep, rocking back and forth. Should I circle that one for anybody? I better. Okay, whoever gets this, I'm going to circle it so that you know where to find it. This is going to be difficult. It's crude, but it gives you an idea.
Yeah.
Because other than that, you'd have a hard time finding it. Okay, the other marks there are still there good enough? You can, well, no. Where were my arrows? Because grabbing this thing, I might have wiped them all. There they are. Okay, they're good enough. I'm going to leave them be. Well, maybe I better rewrite one. And this is Sharpie. It just comes off with alcohol easily or whatever you want to use. Okay, so there's the other one. There's two. So I said that I would be amazed if there wasn't a third one. Well, we just found a third one. So I'd be amazed if there wasn't a fourth one. That's the fun of a crystal like this. It is so much fun. And that's called playing with the rocks and minerals. And that's what I do. That is so cool that we just did that in front of you live. Well, almost live. And used to be live, and found that bubble. That is discovery while shooting a show. How fantastic is that? Okay, so I have not cleaned up my table while I have been doing all this, so we have the label with it. And the information, by the way, is on the back side of the label. I didn't put the barcode because I didn't think anyone would necessarily need that or want that on it. And so let me see here real quick. Okay, I have it. Wow, I did not price that very much at all, including being a scepter with 3 anhydros in it. I'm not going to change the price. $88. $88. Grab it while you can. Okay, so much to do. Look at this. Everybody, item 1229, 1229, 524. 1229, 524. Okay. This is a good last item to feature because there's going to be 12 of you that get a chance. And I know you're going to want them. These are diamond crystals. These are natural drilled diamond crystal necklaces, just like you saw me sell one that was the lighter color that had different fluorescence to it. These are what I call a charcoal gray. They are earth mined. They are genuine Australian diamonds, and I have got these about 15 years ago. Great shooting there. And they're simply really beautiful. They are a full 16 inches, and here's the neat thing. They're strung on wire, and the way this wire is done at the end, you see this little clamp, this little metal clamp that they use. Well, that can be moved and clamped anywhere off. This can go straight over your neck, I think the length that it is, but they're easy to restring. They're already on the wire. That makes it really easy to add a catch if you want. Anyway, per strand on these, I have a really deep discount compared to when I've ever sold them. And this is the real thing, earth mined diamonds. And they were mined 15 to 20 years ago, a long time ago. So remember, the Argyle mine is closed. So that's where these were sourced. And what a neat treasure to get to have. Buy as many as you want, no limit. 12 pieces, price is only $68 each. Only $68 each, natural earth mined diamonds. So I have some beautiful pieces I didn't get to show you today. I'll just tease you with a dioptase specimen that is stunning, and some incredible aquamarine specimens as well. You're going to be able to get in on all those. I'll be right back. Oh, one more last thing, a quick flash, just for a teaser. This is something you've never seen in this show. I've never offered anything like it, but familiar with? Yeah, look at that, a ram's horn selenite. We have great stuff for you. We'll be right back with the trivia. Okay, so much gratitude to Asif, because we were actually shooting the show an hour earlier than normal, and we started a few minutes late, so I asked him if I couldn't have a few minutes on the backside. And he let me go on 40 more minutes than I should have. And I should have looked. I've never done that before, so I apologize to him. And all of you, I know, will appreciate the extra time. But it happens when I have items that are of more value or unique or different, like the anhydro piece. And irregardless of the cost, I still give the item the attention so that you understand the piece and know everything in it, which takes up more time than I really should take on it. But anyway, I'm thankful to Asif, and I know all of you will appreciate the extra items as well. Get as many of them as you can. This is the Cyber Monday show. I have priced items to move, like those 12 necklaces, those diamond necklaces, at only $68 each. They are treasures. You can divide them up on the wires any way you want. You know, they're some of the last of the Australian diamonds that'll be coming out. I've had them for a long time. And I actually dropped the price from when I was selling them many years ago. This was some leftover stock. You're the fortunate ones to get in on it. One other thing I failed to mention was the Vesuvionite specimen that you saw on the graphic. It was fluorescent, so I didn't go into that much, but those of you that collect fluorescent minerals, that's a really neat one to get. So I flashed a couple fun things in there to show you for the next show. It's only a fraction of what I had these big imaginations that I was going to get all these items shown, and I should just known better. So it leaves me a little frustrated, but my expectations are way beyond the number I could shoot in the time that we have. But let me tell you, in the upcoming shows, you're going to see, just like you have in the last few shows, some of the most unique, refreshing items like never before. And you're going to love every moment of it. And I'm going to love every moment of showing them to you. Okay, let's get to the trivia. I have taken up enough time. Question number 1. We may do a What Am I coming up soon, because I kind of like to do that. I like doing that. Testing all of you, and I think all of you like it. And if I show enough, you know, when you have an attitude like Miss Arlene has, where a wrong answer is nothing but an opportunity to learn, that is a great way to look at it. And those of you that want to just leave comments and not leave any answers to trivia, that's just fine. Trivia is just a bonus, something extra. You can go to send a comment to me, Shawn at gems.com, and to find out any of the participation rules or whatnot to the trivia, again, quickly just go to gemshopping.com, go to the bottom of the page to where it says site map, click on that, go to the 2 columns you see on the right hand column, scroll down to the bottom, towards the bottom, it'll say Ask Shawn, click on that, open up a whole world of Shawn, including trivia rules, which are very simple and direct, but it tells you what you need to supply to get and receive the item, and also links to the shows and to the very, very informational bench videos that we did. Okay, remember, we're this show is part of Gem Shopping Network, which is 24/7, been here 27 plus years, not going anywhere. You have the full backing and return privileges of the network. Everything that you have in any other show, you have in this show as well. So that's a whole lot of guaranteeing behind it. And, we're going to take care of you right. We start from the ground up. I'm the ground. I am the rock and mineral guy that starts it from the ground. And as you move upstairs and go to the other shows, that's where it becomes and made into fantastic jewelry, unique items. Watch those shows as well. Okay, here we go. Number 1 for the trivia. What is a crystal called when the base of the crystal is narrower than the rest of it? What is that type of crystal called? Question number 2. What is the name given to selenite with a curved growth form? So when selenite grows in a curved form, what type of name is given to that formation? Selenite is a really unique type of mineral. There's other growth formations, like when it twins, it's called fishtail selenite. So I won't go on a lot further than that because I could easily slip up and give you the answer. But when it grows in a curved form, they're very rare. It's very common when you see them small. That's common. When you see the size I flashed, that's not. What is the name given to curved selenite? Question number 3. Name another mineral that has the same elements and iridescence as bornite. Name the other mineral, and we talked about it, that has the same 3 elements as part of its chemical composition and has iridescence or can have iridescence similar to the same that you saw in bornite. That's it. Okay, everybody, enjoy your Cyber Monday. Spend time shopping with this show, and I thank you and appreciate all your support for all the past and previous shows. I hope you have a joyous holiday season, and I feel blessed that I have all of you, including the new wonderful additions of Karen and Arlene. That kind of energy and that kind of excitement is what I want to put into this show. And like Miss Cindy's excitement as well. So, and Barbara's and Miss Gabby's, you guys are the core of the group. And I'm glad to see we got a couple new ones to join us. So let's get a few more. You can only get and win free prizes. Miss Arlene knows, never has won much of anything. Now she's gotten 3 items, all free, not even postage, in the last month. Well done. All right. Hugs, love, and all my blessings to all of you. And I can't wait to see you in the next show because I have so many things that are just in front of me. I'm just dying to show you. You'll see that passion and excitement in a week. Take care. Cheers.